7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
The Savachi syndrome, I'm telling you, I'm like, well, holy shit, that was crazy. Wait for it. Thick and slick. Yo, what is up, Aftermath Army? Welcome to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show, episode 184. We are the most uninformed moto podcast on the interwebs. It's proven. Look it up. Wikipedia's. Anyway, we are here doing our 2022 450 Supercross season preview show. Now, in all fairness, we did record the show already. I am recording this after the fact. I screwed up, and because we've been off for a few weeks, I did not start the audio recorder when we started the whole intro. So we basically went through the whole intro, and then I realized I didn't start the audio recorder, and so now I am filming this, which is all right, because now I can just read through it. We don't have all the other BS that we get into, although we did stay on track most of this podcast here for our 450 season preview. But anyway, on this episode, we have regular co-host Justin. We have our Supercross only deal, Cole, who is co-hosting in studio with me. And then we have Coach Robb on the phone for the first half of the show. We do take a break midway through the show too, because we're using multiple cameras, so we got to reset batteries, etc. We're trying new stuff as always, and 2022 is no different. We've got some big things coming down the line here, some new people, some new guests we're going to have on, and probably some people that I don't even know are going to come on at this point, but we will get them on eventually. But before we get started, want to thank our sponsors. So presenting sponsors for this year, first up, Complete Racing Solutions and the Moto E Academy. Moto E, #1 in motocross and off-road performance. CompleteRacingSolutions.com for your Moto E membership. They are the most comprehensive yet easiest online program to follow, with over 280 amateur titles and 4 #1 AMA Pro plates. The process and the system are validated. Membership to the Moto E Academy includes 2 live webinars with Coach Robb to answer questions and discuss everything relevant to health, wellness, and performance. Again, CompleteRacingSolutions.com. It does work. I have used Coach Robb's advice at length. I have gone from, I was a marathon runner. I kind of got out of shape with the whole COVID thing, as everyone did. Started back up in the whole workout thing. Was struggling hard the first couple weeks. I used some of Coach Robb's advice, hit him up, and basically figured out what I was doing wrong, and I've worked my way back into, we'll call it being in shape. I am getting older now, so I'm not quite as young and nimble as I was when I was running marathons at full blast, but I'm at least back to the point where I'm in somewhat of shape, getting better every day, and progressing. And so Coach Robb was a vital tool in that. I used a lot of advice from him throughout this process here of the last, 12 months now at this point. So, yeah, make sure to check them out. Again, CompleteRacingSolutions.com. Also, back this year with us for a presenting sponsor, Premier Custom Trailers. Do you need a trailer, commercial or residential? Well, Premier Custom Trailers has what you need. They work with the best manufacturers in the industry and specialize in all your trailer needs. Sales, service, parts, or rentals, they do it all. PremierCustomTrailers.com, located 5 minutes south of Kalamazoo on US 131 in Schoolcraft, Michigan. They put the custom in customer service. I have a nice new 14-foot enclosed trailer from Premier Custom Trailers. They hooked us up on that. If you've watched some of the vlogs we've put out, well, I guess they're not quite out yet. Some of the vlogs we will be putting out here, we did use the trailer for some of them at the end of the year. It basically, as everyone knows, 2021 has been a shit show, and it took a while to get the trailer. I'm super pumped on it. Got the air conditioning unit with it. Everything works awesome. It tows great, looks great. So again, make sure to check them out, PremierCustomTrailers.com. Also, our final presenting sponsor, they've been with us since the beginning, TLR Coatings. Michigan's #1 custom powder coating shop. From two-tone wheels to motorcycle frames to small batch production jobs, TLR Coatings will powder coat anything metal the right way. Looking for some custom Cerakoting? We do that too. TLR Coatings, serving Southwest Michigan and the surrounding areas for over 5 years. Check them out, tlrcoatings.com, or on all social media networks at TLR Coatings. And yes, we are on TikTok as well. Also on board with us here this year, back on board with us, Alias Sport for their CBD pain balm and chill oil. Again, we all use it. My kid uses it, the pain balm, not the chill oil, the pain balm on her knees. She has bad knees already. It's a genetics thing. I use the pain balm on certain aspects of me after working out or riding. My chick uses it. Justin uses it. Cole uses it. It is great. Privateers like Chiz use it. Great thing. Again, aliasport.com. Check them out. Get yours today. Also, back on board with us this year, the Dirt Bike Depot, thedirt-bikedepot.com. 10% off. So you can get 10% off anything on their site. When you check out, use code TMAS. That's TMAS 10. TMAS 10 at checkout for 10% off anything on that website. Again, gear, boots, whole 9 yards. Also on board with us this year, JT Cycle, Husky, Gas, Beta, Suzuki, Steel Lawn Equipment, Gravely Motors, Simplicity Motors, all that kind of stuff. Make sure to check them out, jtcycle.com. Graphics this year on the 450, which if you haven't been watching, you should be. That whole series is out now, our 2015 CRF 450 build. Adept Creative Co, backing some of your favorite privateers like Jerry Robin, Jeff Walker, adeptmx.com. You can get 30% off with them with the code Aftermath21. So go get yourself some graphics. Super nice graphics, super thick. I know when I got my set for the CRF 450, Kev was in town. I was having him put them on, and he was like, hey, man, the only way I'll put graphics on is if they're the nice, thick graphics. They are. They're super nice. They're super thick. They go on really well. So make sure, again, to go check them out. New sponsor on board with us, Gutter Works. Seamless gutters and exteriors. Gutterworksgutters.com. Again, awesome, seamless gutters. They do fantastic work. Make sure to go check them out. Then also want to throw some thank yous to Isaac Nelson Design, isaacnelsondesigns.com. He does some of the thumbnails for us, and he does, like, if you've seen the new logo, which I have on the shirt right here, he is doing logos, thumbnails, etc. for us, so make sure to go check him out. Really cool dude out of Minnesota. He can help you out with some logo design stuff and helping us out this year too and getting us race footage that we wouldn't normally have, etc. Clutch Media. Make sure to check him out, clutchracing.net, or you can follow him on Instagram at clutchmedia.films on Instagram. Does a lot of cool stuff with like Dirt Bike Depot because they're both from Florida. He's doing Kev's vlogs. He's doing Meshy's vlogs. So lots of cool stuff coming from them. If you want to buy merch, Amazon links that you can click on to help us out, Patreon, any of that stuff, links all in the description down below. Want to thank our one Patreon that's left. We've had several over the years. We've only got one that's been steady. So Curtis Hodges, shout out to you. Thank you for the support every month. You probably forgot that you subscribe to that, and it's such a small amount that you don't even care. But again, big shout out. Thank you to you. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube to like, subscribe, comment down below. If you're listening on the podcast versions, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. That'll help us out, get us up towards the top of the list. If you are watching on YouTube and you want to listen, you can check us out, SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. We are everywhere there. And I believe that is it for the intro read. Sorry, I know it's getting long. We just are, unfortunately, we're becoming better, I guess you'd say. And so we're getting more people to help us out, and we're picking up more people. But anyway, super awesome show we did. Went a little longer than normal, about 3.5 hours, talking 450 Supercross for 2022. Again, Coach Robb was on with us at the beginning of the show. He had some family stuff, so he couldn't stay on the whole time, but whatever, we got him in at the beginning. Also talked about Stu's new podcast and the Supercross futures that no one seems to know what the hell's going on with this year. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed it. And here we go. We'll break in after the intro, which I didn't record on the sound. Adios.
Just hearing it off the cameras.
Yeah.
Well, that's happened before, and it's
Except they can't hear Coach, so.
oh, that's we haven't given him time to say anything, so
Yeah, we've been reading sponsors the whole
It's fine,
damn
it's
time.
We've
fine.
been reading sponsors the
do you
whole
remember
damn
the
time.
show? Cooksy's like, how the fuck? You guys got to tone that down a little bit.
I know.
Like a 10-minute long intro read.
Sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
All right, let's go. Come on.
All right,
Yeah, we
so
do gotta figure out how
anyway,
to trim that
here
up.
we go. Okay, well, this is pretty much how the show goes, so whatever. Anyway, okay, so
Sorry,
here we
Coach.
go. Yeah, sorry, Coach. We didn't get you on that intro.
No worries.
We're
Hey,
not professional.
look at
here.
it. Think about it this way. As hard as you guys have worked, these are great success problems. You have
Yeah,
this is
15
right.
minutes of partners. We'll take it. We
He's
will
right.
take it all the way to the bank. Thank you, sponsors.
This is going to be
thank you.
interesting now for me to
Love
put
it.
this together because I'm going to have to put it together basically off that camera.
All right, what's his
For
question?
the first intro. All right, so first two things we got to talk about. Coach, you may know something about some of this. The SX Futures. Does anybody know what the fuck is happening with that?
What do you mean?
So they're having these races at random
which
fucking
regards?
places. So, I mean, okay, so literally the only thing I know is SX Futures is not what it was. Okay, we don't have the what's it called? We don't have like the
Amateur day.
all day where
Yeah.
it's everything 6550s everything. We're basically having the 250 class at select rounds.
Oh, for like, is it going to be like an intermission program, or to this point, still nobody knows?
Supposedly they're going to be on TV is what I heard on Main Event Moto, but I don't really know. And then like, how does this qualifying process work? Like, Coach, I'm sure you have guys that are going to these because there's been like a random one at like AZ Cycle Park or whatever.
Yeah.
Which according
Yeah.
to what I heard on Schmulp MX last week from Kiefer was like the guys went there expecting to ride a Supercross track and ended up having to ride outdoors.
Yeah.
And then like they didn't
Yeah,
have
that's
I
that's
don't
been the lion's share.
the what?
I apologize. That's been the lion's share of the format. So if you look at the majority of the races so far, the top AB riders have to go race a motocross track to punch their card to do a full-blown supercross track at a city close to you. So, for example, I have a rider, Ryan Munson, and he's from Colorado, living in Florida, training with us full-time. So he punched his card at WW Ranch to race the Futures race in the Atlanta Supercross race. So for the life of me, I do not understand how Supercross can think that showing your proficiency in motocross track shows that you know how to perfectly time a Supercross track to scale with Supercross suspension against 20 of the fastest riders in the world.
Ain't
I don't
happening.
quite understand it.
Yeah, let's just make this shit way more complicated than it already is.
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
they better
and-
have double
Well,
the
that
ambulances on there.
complicated and dangerous as hell.
Yeah.
Think about how dangerous that is.
And I do apologize because now thinking I screwed that up. So they did a qualifier at Paula, and Paula they rode the outdoor track, not a Supercross
Well, they're
track.
also doing it at a track in Texas this year too.
Yeah,
That-
so
yeah,
but
that wasn't anything
AZ Cycle Park they rode Chris Blos's practice track
Yeah.
there, which I heard was sketchy as fuck, and there were so many people got carted
Whoops,
off.
are probably 10 feet
Three Palms in Texas
Yep.
is one of them, but they built a Supercross track.
Yeah, they've had a Supercross track for a long time, but it wasn't clear though when it first came out if they were going to be doing
Yeah.
it on the Supercross track or the outdoor track.
Yeah, and then WW I think is doing one, but they built a full Supercross track. I saw that the other
I didn't know
day
that.
on their Instagram.
good for
So
juniors.
they built a full. So like most of the places I think they're doing qualifiers, there's actually Supercross to ride, but how sketchy it is, who knows? And like I said, you go to like the Paula one, and you're riding the outdoor track on Supercross suspension. And from what I understand, there were a bunch of dudes that showed up with SX suspension on their bike, and then are like, how are we supposed to ride this outdoor track with SX suspension? I didn't know this was how this was going to go.
So I haven't paid attention to all of this, so I'm probably the least informed one out of everybody on
Trust
this.
me, there's not a lot of
No,
information
I'm
out
not
there.
very informed
But
either.
like, so how are they taking the qualifiers?
I
Like,
don't
how many
fucking
people?
know.
So like, can you imagine though? You show up to like one of the outdoor races and you're just like you're pretty good at outdoors, but you've never ridden a Supercross track in your life, and you squeak in. It's like qualifying for Loretta's, and you get 10th.
Yeah.
and you qualify in. Now you're gonna have that guy go out and ride a Supercross track, and that guy has never ridden a Supercross
So
track in his
dangerous,
life.
man. So dangerous.
It's like back in the day when you would get your you get your Supercross license from outdoors, and then you try to go right in and ride 450 class, never riding a Supercross track in your life. You don't have Supercross suspension because you don't know how to set your chassis up.
Yeah.
And then they go bomb the whoops the first lap, skip across, drop in, and pile drive themselves and end up in an ambulance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, and Coach, you might have some insight on this. Where are these guys going to practice for a real Supercross track? Would you say there's only one public one that's built? WW.
WW and Three Palms have both built them.
And
I don't
if
know
you're
if
not a
there's-
star guy, you ain't getting on a star track.
Yeah, I don't know if there's
Well,
actually
California, I think
practice
they're starting
facilities.
to like tone back who can get on what. But now a lot of these facilities I know in California are now having other Supercross track being built for like situations like that.
Like I said, there's next to no info. It's not like Feld has put out a huge press release that we've all seen. Like, okay, you're gonna have these. Quit playing footsies with me. We're gonna have these qualifying places. We're gonna ride a full Supercross. Then this many people that qualify are gonna go to these races
This is why we need
and
arena
actually
cross back.
race. Like, it's fucking stupid.
This is
like,
why
it's
we need
absolutely fucking stupid as
We
to
need
what
arena
we're
cross.
doing.
This is why we need arena cross back.
Usually, Feld does better at putting this stuff out there, but like,
I don't know.
I mean, I have no idea. It's a weird situation of just like they made an announcement of like, oh, Futures is back, but even when they made that announcement, there wasn't a whole announcement of like, oh, we're only gonna do like 250A riders or
Coach,
like pro sport riders.
Coach, is any of your other guys doing it? Is Crockett doing any of them?
That's what I was going to ask.
No, the only guys that I've got doing it are the ones that are trying to actually get their pro card.
Okay.
For the rest of them, kind of like what Cole said, like with Rylan Munson, the only track that he can practice on here in Florida is Tyler Rattray does have a Supercross track, and you have to show up and show your proficiency, and then he will actually train you. So, like my rider's working with Tyler on Mondays and Thursdays of every week. So, if it's my understanding, and I've actually reached out to Rylan since we started tonight's call to see. My question to him was, have you actually punched your card into both Arlington and Atlanta? And I think the answer is yes, because he put up on his Instagram showing, his card, and it says Atlanta Supercross. It says Arlington Supercross. And to your point though, Travis, WW just built that Supercross track, but those guys, if I'm not mistaken, have already punched their card through. So it's kind of like the track got built after the fact, because now, of course, they want to leverage these guys that want to get their experience on a Supercross track.
Yeah.
But here's something that I don't know that people are keeping in mind. Think about the original Road to Supercross. You went to Arena Cross. Arena Cross was supposed to be a transitional phase into full-blown Supercross. These guys nowadays don't even get that chance. It's go qualify in an outdoor track, go straight to a full-blown Supercross track. You have, as Cole said, very little to no place to practice it. So as Justin had said, you have no idea how to set up the chassis, suspension, everything in between. I think that the Futures race is going to be a show of carnage. And I don't mean to be negative, but I don't know, unless you're a Jet Reynolds that's been practicing on a Supercross track for 2 years, or the Star Yamaha guys like Levi Kitchen and those guys. Now, obviously they're pro now, but the point being is if this was 2 years earlier, those guys have at least had a chance. And I guess as I'm saying that out loud, the only other facility that I know that those guys could do it would be MTF. So if you're a Futures rider, you could probably get the experience at MTF.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to cost you $25,000, so
shit.
you could
And-
practice there.
It's gonna be a disaster.
I mean, GPF wasn't making any money off guys coming in on their Supercross track, so they dozed it over and turned it into basically an SJO track, a faircross track.
And
So-
like Club Supercross track is getting like more and more intense every year. So a lot of guys are like don't even want to ride it.
Yeah. So I don't
so
know.
gnarly.
Like, I think the front runners.
But think about what Cole said though. Josh Woods at GPF did a great job building a track.
He did.
That Supercross track was nowhere near to scale what these guys are going to be asked to do in Atlanta.
Well, and the problem too is
That's what's so frightening.
even guys riding arena cross that are trying to like train for probably East Coast Supercross. Dude, no offense to like Hoosier and Kicker, but like the arena cross tracks now are absolute joke.
Oh, yeah,
it's like a
those
fair
are-
cross track.
Well, that's
like
because
the
they
whoops
do
are
the
like
65 and 85 kids in the night show.
yeah,
now.
but still though, I remember going to Buku and Toyota and all
yeah.
that, and it didn't matter. They still did them on the night that the pro nights. They didn't
Darcy
give a shit.
Lange back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that one that Kev was at earlier this year before he went out and did Paris.
Yeah.
like the whoops were just literally the size of braking bumps.
Yeah.
and the rhythm section was a 2-3 over a table that a kid on a 125 could hit.
Yeah, it's really sad that like so outdoors there's such a qualifying thing to get into or to get your pro card, and then you go to the indoors and it's just like good luck,
which is absolutely
and it's like ass backwards to me because
because Supercross is
everybody's
supposed to
like
be the biggest thing.
Supercross, like that's all we make our money off. Like everybody's got to focus
But
so
we're not
hard on
paving
it,
a way for 'em.
and we have no way for anybody to get into it.
Yeah, but that's because we have an entertainment company running the series.
Yep. All right. Well, you got another question?
Well,
Yeah.
think about how scary that is, though. What's the number one reason why? Well, I hate those kind of questions. What annoys me is the fact that the number one reason we have 6 top guys at the end of the season is because of injuries. So now what we're going to do is we're going to break the riders even earlier. So before they even get to the 250 class and go and pay to practice at facilities that have Supercross tracks, now we're going to take our top AB riders and give them this incredibly difficult challenge of practice and race on an outdoor track, punch your card into a Supercross race, and hope that you can figure it out in time for Atlanta, Arlington, and all the other future races.
It's a good way to get a lot of young kids
I
hurt.
just absolutely, I totally agree, Justin. Absolutely agree. And we're going to sit back and go, well, that didn't work yet again.
Yep.
Thinking about it, like I mean, we have a pretty good talent pool coming.
No, we
but,
do.
I mean, with this kind of shit, it might make it even smaller. You know, like
Yeah,
the guys below them are gonna see these guys come in at 18, 19 years old, get hurt right away, and be really discouraged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the top guys like the star guys and that kind of stuff, they're all going to be fine because they ride in Supercross already.
Well, yeah, it's like
but
Nick
but
Romano.
it's going to be like the other kids that fill out the gate. You're going to be like,
What
you're
about
gonna
the
watch
kid
them get
that's
carted
super
off.
talented and never gonna
Yeah.
get
Like
shot
Gavin,
that?
Gavin Towers. Like
Yeah.
Gavin Towers right now is uber talented and just shows how good he is. Now that he was on a good bike at Cowie, but like that Yamaha, we know the 250F, and he killed it at Minios.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what the extent of his Yamaha program is, so who knows when
Yeah.
he's going to actually touch a real Supercross track. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's already riding one, but you look at it, the disadvantage that he has compared to a Matt LeBlanc or a Nick Romano or a Chance Hymas.
Yeah.
So like, and that's a kid that could be just as good as those guys, but probably doesn't have the same opportunity.
Yeah. But let's not dive too deep into amateurs here because we are here to talk about
Yes.
450 Supercross for 2022.
We just did a little show on itself there.
Yeah, but anyway,
fine.
one other thing to talk about here before we really get going here. Stu's back. Stu is back.
You listen to that yet, Coach?
Yes, I have listened to it. Yes, sir.
I listened to it as soon as it
I
went.
haven't. I
What,
haven't.
what did you guys think of it? I've been listening to it today.
I'm out of this one.
I liked it, man. I thought it was good. My whole thing is I hope he sticks with it. There's a little glimmer of hope that he is going to stick with it because it's on his own terms now. He
Yeah.
kind of mentioned the Feld thing.
Yeah.
And he was doing it on their terms.
Yeah.
And enjoyed it. Now he's going to talk about the sport on his terms.
Mm-hmm.
He put the money into a studio.
Kicked his brother out, he said.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's got a producer. He yanked the guy from Feld, and the guy that was producing those videos
Yeah.
for Feld is doing this for him.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't care who you are. His opinion is valuable to me, even if I don't agree with it, just because
Mm-hmm.
of what he's done, what he's seen. He's one of the few guys that have single-handedly changed the sport.
Yeah,
So,
there wasn't quite a whole lot of information in the first one here that I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. It was basically
There
just
were a couple little
intro.
interesting
There
tidbits
was a
in
couple little tidbits that I was like, okay, that's all right. But it wasn't crazy awesome. But I'm excited that he's back talking. He's going to talk about stuff. He seems like he's a big fan of the sport now.
I just want to see him
well,
back.
there's some interesting tidbits about.
You're not going to see him ride.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like this is cool and it's great, and I still have yet to listen to it. I just haven't had a
No,
chance.
that-
But that's my. I know that he was riding riding with his son, one of Chase's old bikes at the ride day that he had.
Yeah.
like he actually wasn't riding; he was just in
he
street
talks
clothing.
about that a little bit in there. He
Yeah.
talks about like all the crashes he's had over the years. He's scared to death to hit the ground like that.
Oh, I don't blame
Yeah.
him. Like the dude's had so many concussions; it's not even funny. And his knee's probably jello.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're not going to see him ride, but that's okay. We just need him around.
Yeah, we need him.
Talking
we need him
about
around.
it.
We have Ricky. We have Chad.
Yep.
We need Stu.
Yep.
Like, and we have McGrath. We have Wyndham. Wyndham to a less extent nowadays. We still have
He's
Travis.
skimming pond.
Yeah, we still have Travis around Pastrana, but we need James.
Yep.
Yeah.
We really do. And when we do, we have all the guys that literally changed the sport in the last 25 years, 30 years, whatever.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
I just wanted to know, Coach, what little interesting tidbits did you pull out of that pod with James?
think the big key with James, that was his first rodeo doing his own show. I wasn't familiar with the co-host at all. I mean, he kept referencing that the one guy, I guess, is his businessman in the seven environment.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about that guy. I don't know if you guys do or not. I think that co-host is going to have to carry a lot of the heavy lifting at first to kind of get James up to speed, and especially leaning towards like mini-O's. Now, I don't know if that was just a filler for the first show, and once we get pro racing going, James will be in his environment. But we all know getting the show started is not as easy as it looks. I thought he did a great job. I agree with Cole. I hope he sticks with it. It's one of those, and this is not a dig on James or anybody that's been successful. There's a lot of distractions that can come their way. He's got a couple little ones at home. Is it something that he feels is worth the time and the effort that he puts into it? Because we all value our time. That'll be the big litmus test. And sure, I think that if we were to get an insight as to what his downloads were and listens, I bet you they were quite high because everybody was at probably the peak of curiosity. And give the first 4 or 5 rounds, I think he's only going to get better, getting a little bit more insightful. Since you brought up James at the beginning of the show, my question is this: why did Sexton and James even break up?
I'm sure we're going to hear about that.
I already saw a glimpse.
He talked about it a little bit on one of Gypsy's pods.
It's what I said. What we talked about. It's exactly.
I don't want to get too much into it. I haven't listened to that one
But
yet.
do you remember what I said about the whole with James?
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, so basically what he said, Coach, sorry, spoiler alert, Travis.
It's just a little.
I'm not listening.
Yeah. Basically what he said was James was so naturally gifted and talented. When he was trying to explain something to Chase wasn't able to comprehend it because it was just so easy for James.
Yeah.
He couldn't articulate it. And James touches on it a little bit in his podcast, even the wall jump at Daytona.
Yeah.
He talks about that a little bit, and he was like, hell yeah, I would have hit it. I told Chase not to hit it, and he went out there, and he felt like he had to impress me and do all this stuff, and look what happened. Mm-hmm. Busted his lip up, went to the next round, blew his face out, and then Team Honda blames it on James. So I think there was a little bit more that went down as well with the split up.
And we exactly talked about that. I mentioned guy like James.
Wait, Cole. You're telling me that the team's playing the trainers when the rider doesn't that doesn't happen.
No, that's never happened
That
before.
doesn't happen, Cole. That's never happened before.
Doesn't happen to Coach Robb on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Jesus, what were you thinking?
God, I shouldn't even have said that. Damn it.
I mean, that's what we talked about, though. And I had mentioned that because people were like, oh, James, it's going to help Chase in the whoops. And I'm like, no, it's not. James is going to tell Chase, go hit it 4th gear. And Chase will be like, okay, but how? And James will just hold it wide.
And look how many times Chase hard sailed it this year.
Yeah, because that was the funny thing is that last round when Chase was clearly faster than everybody in the whoops, we're like, oh, that's James. And I'm like, no, that's just James telling him to hit it in 4th and Chase just sending it and closing his eyes.
Yeah.
Has
trying to impress James.
Has nothing to do with James breaking down the technique. And that's just why somebody like James is just not meant to be. Not that he's not meant to be, but it just doesn't work because he is so uber talented. Mm-hmm. Things to him, the way his brain computes information is nobody else can do the things that he did, other than maybe a Travis Pastrana.
Yeah,
and you can't. And Travis was even the same way. Like when you hear him to try to talk about racing and technique and the way he did things, he can't really describe it either because it just came to him and he just did it.
Yeah.
Whereas a guy like Chad Reed probably could break down what his front tire's doing from ground to ground, like he could break it down, where guys like him can't.
Yep. So, all right. Well, let's get into our 450 Supercross preview show here, boys. What
time's Coach Robb?
About 7:30. So we got about an hour here.
Oh, I thought you said 6:30. I was like, damn, we're really cutting into this time.
No, it's okay. And I'm gonna reshoot the intro after this anyway, so it's fine. Whatever.
All right.
Cause I'm not gonna try to pull all the audio off of that thing. It'll be shit with you two talking. So I'm gonna have to reshoot a 30-minute intro.
He's gonna be Sir Mix-a-Lot over here trying to mix
and then
it up.
cut that in, and then it's gonna be a mess. But
yeah,
anyway,
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
All right, so we're going to start off as we always do with our outliers here, and our outliers this year are going to be brought to us by the Dirt Bike Depot. Need some new moto gear but don't want to pay those expensive retail prices? Shop the Dirt Bike Depot for all your moto gear needs, gear sets, boots, helmets, goggles, and more. They specialize in athlete-only boots, as well as tons of more items that you can't buy in stores. Follow them on Instagram at the Dirt Bike Depot, at Dirt Bike Depot, and DM them with any questions you may have. TheDirt-BikeDepot.com. They have some awesome Tech 10s that are athlete only that you cannot get. I'm not a fan of Tech 10s, so like I'm out. I don't like the booty situation.
I'm a big Garnet guy now.
I'm Alpine Stars, but I like my Tech 7s a
I
lot.
was about to say they have like some really cool Jet Lawrence Alpine Stars gear, and you were like, I'm going to try to buy
They
it.
do not have that, but if they did, I would buy the shit
Yeah,
out of that.
I think the coolest shit, personally, that the Dirt Bike Depot gets their hands on is the Red Bull athlete-only stuff. I'm a sucker for the Red Bull stuff just because
You
you
and me
don't
both,
drive down
brother.
the road and see Joe Blow with a Red Bull sticker.
Nope.
So if you get your hands on some Red Bull stuff, that's pretty damn cool.
Yep. They also have some new camo Dirt Bike Depot hats, which I got to get Max to send me one because I really need one, and it's awesome. But anyway, so we're going to start with our outliers. So first person on my list here, which I actually didn't even write on the list because knew I would just remember him, our one boy, Kevin Moranz. Justin, I'm going to start with you. How is our boy Kevin Moranz going to do this year?
So obviously we have a little bit more insight into Kevin's program. We'll
Bingo.
not go too in detail because we just don't want to, everybody up in his business. That's up to him whether he wants to, tell people. But like he had a change in his program. He's going 450 only. He just did the Paris Supercross in the 250. Rode for I don't know what the local team or a team from the Netherlands over there. He just got to California earlier this week I think.
Yeah.
Did his first day on Supercross.
Yep.
Shaking out the cobwebs. It's kind of like what we talked about after Crawfordsville, after we had heard this information. Like Kev, his shining star got so big this past year. He got the fill in at Rocky Mountain, because Joey was out. They needed a guy. Kev's always been kind of on that list. He has a relationship with him. Building. We know his starts are really good, but he stayed down in the 250 class when they go back to the East Coast, just because that's where everybody kind of gets their, groove. But the thing about Kev, though, is that if he falls back just a little bit this season with how deep it is, all these other privateers we saw with Surratt and Wageman and all them, even though they're in the 250 class this year, it's going to be hard for him to get a ride. But I think that he learned some things with how to set up his bike. He now understands the intensity is in the 450 class. We know his starts are probably some of the best there is next to Kenny.
He's not scared on starts.
He's not scared on starts. He doesn't, when he's in the pack, because he grew up riding arena cross, he doesn't get flustered. His brain doesn't go on overload. The speed is the biggest thing with him because I still think there's a few privateers out there that outright speed. But I think that Kev, because his training, when he is actually training, I think it's pretty good. His starts will always, top 5 start, even if it fades back a little bit, 15th, 17th. It's just going to be really hard, though, because going into A1, if all these dudes that we have on our list stay healthy, it literally leaves the door open for one privateer to make it in. We have 21 guys on our list that I think we're going to talk about.
Yep.
And that leaves guys like open for Kev, for Chiz, for Justin Starling,
And
Ryan Brees.
And I hate to be this guy as well, but there's one guy in that 21 list that's very capable of making mains every week, and he's not on a factory team, and I think he will be the first person that's called for a fill-in spot.
Yeah, and it's just so basically I think Kev, especially when the field dwindles down, I think he has all the right tools to make it every weekend.
Absolutely.
I mean, he pretty much made every one but one that he tried for in the 450 class, I think he only literally missed one.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it was more, but I think it was only one.
Wasn't the first 450 race he did? I think he didn't qualify.
It was either the first or the second. But either way, though, I think it was only one he missed that he tried for. And there was a lot of times because of his starts, he put himself in like 16th or 17th at the end of the main. Mm-hmm. I think that last year was a big learning curve for him, but it helped him out with a lot of things. It's just going to be, can he replicate that? Because like I said, as much as I love Kev, if he dips at all in his results, it's going to be really bad, and there's no going back, I think, for him at this point. Like, if he goes, this is it for him.
But I don't think we're going to have a problem, and here's why, okay? So he gets hurt at Atlanta 2, Atlanta 3, whatever it was.
Takes the airplane ride.
No, it's helicopter.
Whatever.
Takes helicopter ride out of there. And but then he comes back in outdoors, right? Okay, and this is what I've been telling people I've been talking to about him. He, for outdoors last year, okay, in 2020, I'm pit boarding for him at a different spot on the track at Red Bud for those rounds. He is in the 250 class fucking around in like 25th, 26th place, okay, and cannot go anywhere. And mind you, he didn't miss any time in 2020.
No.
2021, he misses the first 9 outdoor rounds, comes out, and is top 20 in the 450 class.
Yep.
And like, there were injuries, but not that many that he should have been that high up if he hasn't been making improvements.
Yeah.
We know his starts are good. We know Supercross is highly based in starts. He is not scared on the starts at all. He is past the point of being like starstruck, riding with these guys. He got that out of his system last year when he was doing 450 races, and he's starting next to Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, Ken Roczen, that kind of stuff because his starts are so good. Yeah, so he's not starstruck by these guys anymore. So I think the year is going to be good as long as he keeps it off the ground. We don't have anything wild happen, which his style doesn't really give to.
No, he has a very relaxed style.
that crashing, wide open, wild style. He's very in control, we'll call it. Now, shit happens. Obviously, we saw that last year, but still, I don't foresee that happening. So I think the year is going to be a growth year for him, and I think it's going to go well.
I think his whoop speed is the only thing he needs to improve on.
Whoop speed, I think, and corner speed. I think if he focuses on those two things, and I haven't even talked to him about this part of it yet, but whoop speed and corner speed, I think if he really focuses in on those, because on the 450, let's face it, you can do every rhythm. He's young enough. He's not scared. He's still got that disconnect between the throttle hand and his brain where he can just turn the brain off and just rock and do any jump he needs to do. So that's not going to be a problem. Like you said, whoop speed, corner speed. If he works on those two, boom. Easy.
That's my thing with Kev too is he's no dummy. He's a smart kid.
No, he's very smart.
And he's one of those guys that takes what he learns and he applies it.
Yep.
There's a lot of guys and kids out there that learn something. You can tell them over and over until they're blue in the face, and they don't apply it. So I think with the experience there that Kevin has gotten, it's going to show. And he's going to get more and more of that this year.
Well, and I think being in California for the next however many months, like 2 months here, where he's at those practice tracks with all the dudes, because let's face it, everybody's going to be there starting now.
And what he'll do, too, is he'll go to Anaheim 1. He'll go to the second round. Yeah, he might not get in.
Yep.
But he's going to learn something from both of those rounds, and maybe the fourth round, the fifth round, somebody drops out. He's there.
Even if he doesn't get into the mains in the first couple rounds, I don't see him doing that for long, and it's going to be close.
Well, his biggest thing is, too, that he's
going to battle
because of his starts, even if he is in the LCQ every weekend.
I still see him making it most of the time.
Yeah, because even if he's in there with a guy like Amar or Justin Hill or whoever, Dino, whatever, because his starts are so good, once again, that's going to put him in a good situation that if he doesn't make that mental mistake, he can go from first to third, and he's fine.
Yep.
So whereas a lot of those guys are super inconsistent with their starts.
Yeah. So speaking of LCQ guys, we'll move on to our next guy. And Coach, I'll start with you on this one. Club MX team, Alex Martin making the jump from 250s to 450s. Coach, what are your thoughts on Amart going to 450? How do you think he's going to do? Is he going to be an LCQ guy all year? What are your thoughts here?
I think he's a legitimate contender. I think Club MX has proven that they've got a good bike underneath him. The fact that he's going to be the only 450 guy under Club MX because Nicoletti's going to be racing 250 Supercross. I think Alex stands a good chance. I do not think that he will be. I think he'll definitely see a lot of LCQs, not because he's not a good rider, but as you guys have said over and over again with Kev, he's not as good of a starter as Kev is. Kev is incredibly consistent with his starts, kind of Roczen style. I don't know who Cole was referring to earlier that may get the call up. My personal opinion
Justin
is Cody
Hill.
Schock is on a very, very tight. Was that it, Cole?
I was going to say Justin Hill. I mean,
You're fucking
it just
high.
depends on what Justin Hill we see.
You're
but
fucking high, but okay.
I don't know. You don't overlook a past 250 champion.
You're fucking high.
All right, let's Coach finish this thought.
But Coach, keep going.
I think Cody Schock is the guy that's on everyone's short list if there's an opportunity that comes up. I know he's on a tight radar for Honda, but don't.
Interesting.
I saw that. We heard
Not
that.
to convolute the original question, Cody, you guys articulated it earlier. Get a good start and find out that you can hold the pace. Because look at what's the discrepancy between the first and fifth place guy. You're talking a quarter of a second a lap. You start getting those consistent starts up there. What Alex Martin is not good at. And when I say not good, relatively speaking, I mean, compared to me, he gives great starts, and I don't want that down out of context. But when you're looking at Sexton, Roczen, Ferrandis, Webb, Plessinger, Anderson, AC, that puts him already outside top 10. And, most of those qualifiers are 6'8" guys. So, no, I don't see him being able to cut his teeth straight through it. What does hurt him is the size. He's not going to be a slammer. He's not going to be a bang bam. He's not going to be like Bam Bam pushing people around. He doesn't have the size, but we all know the guy can ride a bike extremely well. I personally am surprised to see that Nicoletti will run 250 Supercross instead of 450, but I would imagine budgets are probably limited over there. They can't really afford for two 450s. I don't know what else it would be. They've got a pretty big field on the four. They've got 4 guys on the 250 with Marchbank floats, Jay Sohn and Dominic. So I don't know. It's kind of an intriguing situation over there at Club. I don't know if it's maybe Phil just doesn't want to race a full series on the 450 because we know he's got a lot of experience in that regards. There's a lot. Think about this, guys. And Justin, Trav, I just want to make sure we're still talking about 250s or 450s right now.
No, we're just talking about 450s right now. 250s were out at the beginning of the year because no one wants to announce who's riding what coast. So fuck it, we're out.
Sure.
We're not playing the guessing game. We're just out.
Yeah.
Well, think about it this way. If you look at factory equipment, we've got 15 guys that are on factory equipment this year. And I'm including Club with 2 guys. But if we're only looking at 450, that would be in 450 Supercross. That would put us at 14 guys factory equipment. 2 at Honda, 2 at Cowie, 3 at KTM, 3 at Yamaha, 2 at Husky, 1 at Gas, and then Club MX, which I think is getting some factory Yamaha support. So if you're looking at a 20-man main event and 15 of them are on factory equipment, now let's take it a step further. And I don't want to jinx anybody here a couple weeks out. So far, with the exception of Jet Reynolds, we haven't heard of anybody not being ready for A1 in the 450 class. Nobody's injured. So think about the depth of field that you're looking at when you've got 15 factory-backed directly and indirectly bikes, because that doesn't even include the KTM Butler Brothers guys. That's another 3 guys with Savachi, Anstie, and McElrath. So now that puts you at 18 if you want to include them, because now that I say that out loud, they are on factory equipment. There's only 20 spots on the gate, and 18 factory bikes or factory-backed teams are out there. So it's going to be tight for Martin to get out there.
Yeah. I see him in a lot of LCQs this year. I think he'll make mains, but I think it's going to be a random type thing too. Because like even last year on the 250s, best finish he had in Supercross was a 7th. He was 22nd in points. So like he's okay, but we all know he's not a Supercross guy. So
the thing with Alex, and I hate even saying this because I like the Martin brothers so much. Everybody knows I'm a big J-Mart guy. I like Alex. I watched him through the amateurs. The thing that I think at his point in career, and I understand why he's just got to the point, hey, I want to test the water, because I think this is probably going to be his last year. Mm-hmm. He's probably going to be retiring soon. He probably just wants to, hey, I don't want to go finish my career and say I never rode the 450 class to see what I'm really made of. Al's got really good technique. We know when he's training, when he's actually healthy, his cardio is good. That's not an issue. His whoop speed for a small guy, and look at J-Mart the same way, is really good. Even on that 450, because I've watched a lot of his videos, his whoop speed is really good. They got that back end squatted like crazy, just like they did with Ricky, but it works for him. The thing that scares me with Al is because he's had so many injuries in the last 2 years, because he has failed to complete an entire season in both Supercross and outdoors the last 2 years, I do not think his willingness to up the intensity when we get to the East Coast and we're hitting bottom and the ruts are square-edged all the way through and there's ruts all the way across the faces, I feel that his brain is going to go, nope, not going to do it.
I also think he'll be a little more comfortable, though, because look at those tracks that are riding down at Club MX.
Oh, dude,
they're super gnarly, and if he can get comfortable on a shit-ass track like that, once we come East Coast, he might surprise you.
It's not that I don't think he has the possibility to do well. I just think in a situation where, say he's, and I'm not going to say this is where he's going to end up, but just say for the sake of argument, he's in 12th, and he's battling with Dean Wilson or whoever. Those guys still realize maybe Dino wasn't the best because he's going to be retiring soon. But just say for whatever reason
he's going to battle with Hartranft.
Yeah, say he's battling with Hartranft. Hartranft still has something to prove. He will hit the ground to move forward, whereas Al will go, I don't need to do that. Mm-hmm. Like, my career's ending. Yeah. And it sucks to say that, but I just don't think at this stage in his career his willingness to up the intensity when it needs to be upped. And I know that's a really simple answer, but I just don't think he's there anymore. I think if you talk about talent and dedication and speed, I think he's going to be really good. And I know they were just going there for a first test. he was not good in Paris. He was terrible in Paris.
Well,
and I know that once
they
again,
had a lot of
issues.
I understand that, but still, though, even when
Yeah.
during time qualifying, I think the best he could muster was 11th fastest.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
So it's not me trying to shit on Al, but I just think at his stage of his career, he just doesn't feel the need to push that limit. Where if he would have done this 5 years ago,
Yeah.
it would have been like when he was at his peak, when he was at Star. This would have been a different conversation. To be honest with you,
But
I just don't think.
whoa.
I just don't think at this point in his career that it just. I'll be shocked if he doesn't make every main, but I think his best finish this year in a main is like 14th.
Yeah, well,
It's not trying to be disrespectful. I just think at this stage of his career,
I'm not arguing with
it's just
you.
where he's at.
But-
like honestly,
Let's not kill too much time here with
Well, but think about this though. Is there anybody in the field that doesn't think that they can move Amart? If
No.
you look at the size of Sexton looks abnormally big right now.
yep.
That's a topic for another day. He looks abnormally big. You've got AC that's what 6'2", 6'3",
Yep.
a baby.
Hartrap's huge.
You've got Anderson that isn't afraid of anybody. Now, of course, the exception of the rule is Webb is not the biggest guy, and he could throw some elbows around.
But he's a
But
bulldog.
if I'm looking at Amart having to get moved by Plessinger or Savacci or Ferrandis or Tomac or Christian Craig, Malcolm. Can you imagine Malcolm against Amart? Excuse me. I mean, it's
Christian Craig
that's
also.
where
Okay.
Oh,
Amart's
Jesus.
yeah, that's where Amart's size will hurt him. Like you said, Justin, talent, work ethic, second to none. I think it's just in their blood from their dad. But I don't know if I see Barsha that smells blood, and I don't think he's the. And again, as you said, Justin, no disrespect to Amart, there's nobody in that top 10 that's not afraid to move him. I mean, it will look like Anderson hitting Savacci in the last turn. You know what I mean? It's like, get out of my way, I'm coming through.
Yep.
And I think that's what's going to hurt Amart is nobody's afraid of him. I think people are afraid to hit a Ferrandis, a Tomac, a Barsha, a Plessinger that's 6 foot, 6'2", a $180, $185. That's not afraid to take it and will immediately serve it back. So, and hey, let's be fair here. At least Amart doesn't have to kickstart the Suzuki anymore. So that'll help his chances of getting in the main event.
Yep. All right, let's move on to our next outlier here. And I know there's a few other like I have Benny Bloss written down. Benny Bloss written down.
Bloss.
We don't need to talk about him. I know you've been homing on Justin Hill's nuts.
No.
over here.
Can we just agree,
You
though,
know,
that
Benny
Bloss-
Bloss, though, that dude burnt me so much in fantasy
I
last
know.
year
All
because
right.
he just gave up.
I just-
All right, so
Yeah,
can
I
then we'll just skip across. Can I just ask everybody, and even for Coach on the call, he makes every main though, right? Like
No.
you can say what you.
No.
There's no way.
No.
No offense to everybody else, but as
Benny
if you
Bloss
wanna-
is fast when he can put
as
it together.
privateers, there's no privateer, and this is not a knock on Kev. Chiz may be the only person.
He can't stay off the ground, so no. I completely,
doesn't
He
matter.
stayed
I
off the ground at Moto Concepts.
I
He
completely-
just didn't ever finish
I
because
completely and utterly disagree.
he had no heart.
I don't think he
doesn't
makes
have a
every
heart.
main.
What do you think on speed? You think on speed alone he won't make it in?
No.
So you just think he does something dumb?
Yes.
See, that's the thing though, is he
I
doesn't
think he makes,
do.
I think he makes mains, but I just don't think he makes every single
See,
one.
I think he makes every main.
Well,
Whether now what he
You're
does in the
fucking
main,
stupid sometimes. Whatever.
No, it's fact. Like he basically has made every main he's ever tried for when he hasn't had a problem.
He has a lot of problems.
But he still also makes mains. It's just what happens in the mains.
That's fine.
Seriously though, some
Look,
like
you're as
we'll get
high
off
on
this,
him
we'll
as
get
he
off
is
this
on
and we'll look at
Justin
his
Hill.
statistics and see how many mains he's made and how many mains he hasn't made.
His best finish last year was 13,
I bet he's made
and
less
he
than you
finished
think, though,
22nd in
Justin.
points.
What?
He's made less than
Maybe
you
in the
think.
250 days.
452, I think.
I
Look,
don't know about that, man.
I don't want to spend
dispute
any more
that.
time on him than I want to spend on your nut hugger, Justin Hill.
I'm
There.
not nut hugging him, man.
You're
He
nut
just-
hugging the shit out of that guy. He went to be a cop, okay? He's not going to do anything. It never works when they step away and come back. Why don't you call Ryan Dungey and ask him how that
I don't
worked
give a
out?
shit. He's got more talent in his left nut than half of those people.
Then he should have used it when he was fucking in it. And now he hasn't been in it for over
Okay,
a fucking
even with that,
year
he
and a
still
half.
makes mains.
No way.
I'll
bet he's lucky if he makes one main if he does the whole fucking series.
You want to put a $20 bet on this,
I'll put
or
a
do you want to
$100
cover
bet
the
on
other
that.
20 that
Fucking
Justin
All
never
right,
paid me?
Coach, does Bloss and Hill make every main?
Quick question for you. Who did Justin Hill sign with?
Partzilla
He's on a
Kawasaki.
PRMX Kawasaki. I think they're on Race Tech suspension.
It's basically the same people that Josh Cartwright and all those
Yeah.
dudes were on last year. Josh Cartwright and there was another dude in the 450 class. So like they've had a team for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sorry, Justin, what was the question? Did he make the main?
Do you think that
main?
so like obviously there's a big disagreement between everybody at this table, but like so not to spend too much time, do you think Benny Bloss and Josh or Justin Hill make every main this year?
Every main?
Yeah, every main.
No way. No way.
Okay.
Thank you.
No way. But do they have the capabilities of it? I mean, I like the fact that Benny Bloss was working with Millsaps and they're on that team Tedder.
Yep.
I'm a little confused why Davalos left, being such a long time. I mean, I get it. The son over there, I think it's Dakota is his name. I understand why he's team manager. It's called nepotism, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. But, yeah, I mean, I think Benny Bloss blows, however you want to pronounce it. I think he's proven that. He's got Millsaps on his side. That's good. Tedder seems to have very, very good equipment. I don't know if that's because he's buying it, good connections, a little bit of both with Monster. I think we'll see him in there, but I would not say everyone. And what do you say about Justin? Not to reiterate what Cole said, talent-wise, absolutely every day, all day. Does he want to? $1 million question. That's a shame because unfortunately it's been the demise of his and his brother's career, unfortunately. Both fantastic riders, but we don't know what you're going to see.
I just think both of them make it in because as much as, like I said, I don't want to diss on all the privateers, but if you put their talent and speed next to every privateer other than Chisholm, they're faster than all of them. Well, yes, once again, do they want it or what they do in the main? I don't know, man. I've seen
Raw speed, yes, but I just don't think they get in.
Justin Hill, I did notice on social media, he did pack up camp from Oregon, home base where he wanted to be. And he's at south of the border, I believe. Correct?
I have zero faith in the Hill brothers, to be honest with you.
Well,
but
Josh
that at
Hill
least tells me he's at least got a fingernail dipped in if he's going to move somewhere.
Well, whatever.
So
it's just what is his ultimate goal?
But
That's
yes,
the
I will
thing.
take that $20 bet that he doesn't make. You know what? I'll even give you 2 mains.
that he only makes 2 mains.
Yep.
You think he only makes two mains?
Yes.
Now he's fucking higher.
Now
than
you're
Kite.
high as shit.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, you are.
2 mains. 20
Higher
bucks.
than a
Dude,
Kite.
2 mains.
I don't want to get on the. I don't want to
Shake
get
on
on
that
this.
shit right now.
I don't want to get on this.
I'm going to be paid by the 5th round. Give me
Okay,
that.
I don't want to get on this too long because I want to get into some guys that actually matter. But talent alone is going to get him in mains. Like that's the thing is we talk about this. You can't teach speed.
The only talent he has is shadow boxing the fucking tough block behind the start line.
And how much you want to bet that at some point this year he's top 5 fastest in qualifying?
No,
Yes.
not at all.
Yes.
I'll bet you $100 that's not
Yes.
in the case.
Yes. At some point this year when he actually is like, hey, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do this for 1 lap. He's going to be top 5 in qualifying.
You guys are fucking high.
See, I'm not as high as he is on it because I know at some point he will.
I'm not
No,
super high.
I know
but-
what you're saying. It's the same thing you guys feel with me with Bloss. But the fact is that talent alone, we know when it comes to riding a dirt bike, will get you farther sometimes than unfortunately hard work will.
And
And Justin Hill probably has more talent than 95% of the people riding a dirt bike alive today.
He's not going to get a
And,
start.
he's
the
a guy
talent's
that-
not going to
It
bring him
doesn't-
through.
it-
And even when it does bring him through, somebody else is going to put him on the ground because they really fucking want it.
Let me guess.
My thing is he's a guy that obviously doesn't like pressure on him, right? There's pressure and obligations for all these teams, right? I don't think he has that where he's at. He can do
No.
whatever the fuck he wants. And that might work out.
I just look at it as we've seen it enough times that talent gets you in. Jason Lawrence is a perfect example of that over hard work, and that's all I need to say. Talent will get you into mains. Now, what you do in those mains
Are
is
you just like
different.
replaying that 2018 Tampa Supercross video, or was it 2019, whatever, in your head? Is that what you're seeing all the
playing the
time?
Super-
No,
Supercross
I'm
title,
going
all
off
that.
of even as last year with JGR and Moto Concepts when he did not give a shit. He still got a 5th place in a main.
Whatever, dude.
And that was what?
No way.
Not 2 years ago? That was 2020, right?
Yeah, I mean on the
What was
Honda,
his last year on
the
Moto
Honda,
Concepts?
he
Was it
won
20
a heat and all that.
Yeah, it was
shit.
2020, right? Yeah, he got 5th in the main that year.
When he was riding all the time and gave a shit.
He was not
like-
riding all the time.
Okay.
He was not riding all the
Well, he
time.
hasn't been riding for a whole fucking year because he's been a cop.
Well, it's not like a...
So
I can't
I
wait
also
to
think,
get
see,
paid.
you gotta say
I
cop.
can't
So
wait
that
to get
so that
paid.
talent is now
natural
at
talent.
the same level as all the other guys who
It
have
is.
been
It
continuing
is.
to ride.
It is.
So so there you are. So
It
now
is.
all the other guys are at the same
It's
talent
trap.
level, and they
Hold
want
on.
it.
Coach
They
trying to
fucking
talk.
want it.
Hold on. Coach trying
All
to
right,
talk.
coach, go ahead.
Hey, Travis, is that they're a 450 team that Justin's on, right?
Yeah,
And he's going to race the whole series?
I think
the
so.
That's the word, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't see how he can be top 5 in qualifying ever.
Bingo.
I just
Thank you.
I think you're high on that one, yeah,
Think-
Justin.
The gods
think
have
about it.
spoken.
Think
You
about
two
it.
are fucking dummies.
No. Because Justin is way smarter than I am. Think about this.
Oh god.
Think about this. You've got Sexton and Roxon at Honda. There's 2. AC and Anderson, possibly Brock to Cali. There's 2. You got Webb, Plessinger, and Marv. There's 3. There's 7 guys right there every single weekend. I don't see Justin getting in front of those 5.
Malcolm
Add
Stewart.
Ferrandis, Tomac, Christian. Add Malcolm Stewart, even Barsha. I don't see him being able to cut into that top 5. Just because, I mean, we can go through each one of these. You got Barsha on his last year of his contract. You got Malcolm that's excited to be racing. He's got a 2-year deal. You got Ferrandis out to prove a point. Tomac wants to prove a point. I think qualifiers are going to be at an all-time high this year because everybody wants to prove they're top dog. I know it's been there for years in the past, but we've got a lot of contracts that are up this year, and I think every lap is going to count. And I think that there's so much new talent coming up. We can talk about it on 250 on another show. But when you look at all the 250 guys whose contracts are up this year because of either pointing out or just contracts themselves, I don't think anyone's going to lay low on a qualifier. That's the only reason why I think he'll be lucky to get in the ties and a qualifier. Not because he's not talented, like you said, Justin, but I mean, 2 at Honda, 2 at Cali, 3 at KTM, 3 at Yamaha. That's a tough top 5 to break into.
Wait. Did I missay what I was actually trying to say? Because I feel like what I was trying to say, everybody, I didn't mean it like in a race. I meant it in qualifying, time qualifying.
That's where we're at.
Yeah,
I mean,
do you think
Mookie
that
can throw
he's
a
going
heater.
to out?
All those guys can throw.
No,
a heater.
it's not like I think that he's going to do it every weekend. I just feel once again because I'm one of those people, and we've seen it enough with enough people when it comes to talent that if he's just feeling it for a lap, just one lap. Who knows what? Maybe he does it a lap and he kills himself.
Like
because,
Purcell shit?
Yeah, like just one lap at one time this year. I just feel that for one lap, I still think Justin Hill can go as fast as anybody for one lap. Now, what that one lap does to him after the fact, that's a different conversation for a different day. I've always seen Justin Hill as his talent, and the same thing with his brother. I mean, look what we saw with Josh Hill when he was gone for whatever, and he came back for that one race at the end of the year, and he was running like, what, 3rd or 4th? Like, that's just the way I look at it. It's not that I think that he can replicate that every weekend. I just think, I don't know, if you say one lap, I think he could do it. Now, once again, does he ever do it again? No, definitely not. I'm not.
Well, here's.
Go ahead, Coach.
You're going to have to put a caveat on the bet with Travis because if you have all teams healthy, there's no way he gets top 5 in qualifying, not once.
Yep.
Now, if the field gets decimated, I agree. Because you got to think about it. He's going against factory equipment with the best in the business on Honda, Cali, KTM, Yamaha. And just with those 4 teams, you're looking at 10 riders. That's what, because I agree with you, Justin, talent-wise, but 10 of those guys, you have to have 5 that have a shitty qualifier for Justin to get there. I just don't see it happening, unfortunately.
And maybe we get to the end of the season, that's what it takes to that point. I mean, we know, unfortunately, that a lot of these dudes are probably not going to make the whole season.
Yeah.
You got to be in it to win it, though.
You still want to do that
Travis, and that's
2
why I
main bet
think
if he
he-
gets to the end of the year?
Oh,
I
yeah,
think that's why
100%.
I think that's why you betting with what Coach just said about that's going to be the problem because that's the thing is when everybody's healthy, yes, who knows where Justin
I don't
fits
think
in.
he makes it to the end of the season. So
Well,
I'm totally comfortable with this bet.
But if you think you get to the end of the
I do
season
not care.
and 8 of those dudes are out that he can't make a main, like
he isn't going to be there at the end of the season either. He's going to go back to being a cop halfway there. He's going to be like, man, fuck this shit.
he's been
I'm too cool for
he's
Moto
hated
now.
Justin Hill even since he won the title.
I'm not a Hill fan.
All right, let's go on to the next one. This is getting old.
All right. Moving on.
Cut.
Next.
Hey, I do want you to cut a clip, though, so we can post it.
The one outlier that I think is going to do actually okay.
I already know.
MCR, Justin Brayton.
I don't even know how you put him as an outlier.
Because he's the only guy on the team.
He's the only guy on the team.
He's the only guy, the
Yeah.
450 guy. 'Cause
So-
Vince Freeze is going back to 250s.
Yeah. So I put Brayton at a. So I put Brayton at a top 10 dude all year. I think he sneaks a top 5, and I'm going to go with sneak a top 5 as the best.
Wait, do we know? Are they? They're not doing the Triple Crown format this year, right?
Yes, they are.
They are. Have
At
they announced
2
what race?
I think
Two or
there's
3.
3 of them,
Yes.
I think.
Oh,
But,
sorry.
But I also want to point out how stacked the field was last year, and Justin Brayton got a third. At, like, the second round?
Yeah, Houston too.
But he
a
also
third.
got hurt pretty bad at the end of last year.
Yeah,
This
he
year.
did.
Yeah, but still, he still's
But
got
that doesn't.
speed.
That
I'm a
doesn't
Justin
affect
Brayton
his
fan.
program though.
I'm a big Justin Brayton fan. Now that you just said, because I didn't know this, that there is a Triple Crown, I'd take back the face I just made. Because I think because there is a Triple Crown, depending on if they've stayed with the same amount of laps that we saw in 2019, or if they're going to extend them. But if they're staying to the same
Well,
amount
who
of
the
laps,
fuck would know? Because Feld is.
yeah, I know. Dave Prater and Jen, whatever.
Yeah, who knows what the fuck's
no,
happening.
I take that back. Then I could definitely see that.
I don't even think it's a Triple Crown round. I think you can get top 5 in a regular round, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to happen like frequently. Don't get me wrong. This could be like a 1-round thing, just like his podium last year. But I do think he can sneak a top 5.
It's
He's
A1.
sneaky good. I mean, dude, look at last year. Okay,
He's not-
as
he's not
Cole
even-
said,
yeah.
super fucking stacked field.
Yep.
Second round, where everyone's still healthy, he pulls a 3rd place finish.
He can hover around the top 10 all year round too.
Yeah.
It just depends on how much that injury affected him, though.
I don't think that bad. It's his
I don't-
farewell year.
I don't
he
know if it
knows
did.
it's his farewell year.
Yeah.
So, like, he's out there just having a good time. He's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time. All
I'm
right?
going to say he gets a couple top 10s and then hovers around the 12th to 14th rate.
I think he's going to be a great fantasy pick all year.
I think so, too. Yeah.
Well, unless
and
he goes
I'm
out
not
and
going to
gets
argue with you.
third the first round.
I'm not going to argue with you, like, the 10 to 15, because,
Yeah.
like, I went through all these guys. That's why I have, like, their best finish and where they finished in points for last year. So, like, I kind of looked through everything. And, like, yeah, he was right in that range of, like, 10 to 15. The field's just too stacked. Now, if the field gets depleted, yeah, you could see him dip inside that top 10 pretty regularly if he can stay healthy. But outside of that, yeah, no, I'm a 10 to 15 guy if the field stays pretty good. Coach, you got anything else that you think outside of that for Justin Brayton?
No, I would have to agree with you 100%. We just all have to tip our hats to him.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I mean, the fact he's been racing, I mean, think about all the different generations that he's endured. And then you watch him at Paris a couple weeks ago, and it's just amazing. I mean, he's up there battling with some of the MXGP guys. Yes, Curly's a legend in his own time. But,
Yeah, I would be honored
yeah,
to get
I
taken out
mean,
by Cairoli, though, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you got to think his
Absolutely.
first actual pro race was in Arena Cross in 2002.
Like Moto World Suzuki days.
Yeah, I
even.
think it was 2002, 2003, his first ever, back when like the Gray Davenport and Sean Clark days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was, I mean, and
There
he's
you
what,
go.
37?
Something
I
like
think
that.
37, man. He was
Yeah.
35 when he won Daytona.
Easily
Yeah.
one of the most durable dudes to ever do this for a living.
Yep.
It's crazy. I love Justin Brayton, though. I think that everybody needs to look up, like,
Yeah.
model themselves after the way he, like,
Yeah.
has taken his career.
Maybe I'll reach out. Maybe we'll see if we can get him on the show
100%
this year.
agree.
That would be freaking awesome.
He likes doing media
Class
stuff, so
act
maybe
all the way
And
around.
even if we don't get him on this year, I'll definitely keep trying to see
Yeah.
if we can get him on
Yeah.
in future years. Okay, so moving on. First team here, just kick it, bro. Hep Suzuki.
Hep. H-E-P.
Yes. So Cole, we'll start with your boy first, Mr. Justin
Hang
Bogle.
on, you missed the most important part of this team.
Just kick it.
Twisted Tea, bro.
No, Jesus.
Come on. You didn't even, come on.
We got Suzuki plastics on the wall.
Hey.
By the way, before we get into this, anybody that yells at us because we're leaving one of the members off of this, you know why he's not on this conversation.
The 7 deuce deuce, bro.
Yeah, whatever. I don't
Look,
care.
his plate's on the wall.
Okay, so 7 Deuce Deuce is on this team, but he's kind of irrelevant.
That was basically what I was getting at. He's
Okay.
irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean he's
We
gonna
love
be
7
he's
Deuce
gonna be
Deuce.
lucky to make
But
mains,
there is
but-
one guy on this team that's relevant, and I'm a big fan of this guy.
Okay,
Had a pretty good
Justin
pretty good
Bogle.
Paris Supercross, actually.
I mean, not bad. Not bad
Yeah,
at
looks
all.
good on that Suzuki.
Yeah, you guys all know I'm a big fan of Justin Bogle.
Leg swag.
But no, I'm a big fan of his style on a bike as well. I really enjoy how he's really started to embrace himself the last couple of years as well. Because like some of the weird random shit he does on a bike off a triple is just so cool, and you know the cameras are going to be there now.
That little drop in the front end where he likes to grab his mouth guard on his helmet.
That
is
or like the weird oppos he does,
Yeah.
or like just throws a knack. Like there's a picture of him just doing a random knack looking right
for like no
into
reason.
Febra's soul.
Yeah, for like no reason.
Like the whole awesome.
Yeah.
But
But how do you think he's gonna do racing?
that's what I'm getting. I think he's in a good spot mentally. I think he's just kind of come to the realization that he's never going to be a top factory team guy anymore. The opportunity he has, again, he can be himself, and when you can be yourself, that's when your true potential comes out, I think.
Especially with this team.
He gets to the track, he probably doesn't have a team manager in his ear going, oh, you need to quit throwing whips and knacks over the triple, blah, blah, blah. That's what he thrives off of. Mm-hmm. That's what makes him ride well. Another thing to point out, I think, as well, is remember how good his starts were on the Geico Honda?
Yep.
He's back on a cable clutch.
Mm-hmm.
And even on the Suzuki, the JGR days, he was getting starts.
Colorado.
And Colorado, come on, like, who's the last guy to win nationals on a Suzuki and be competitive on a Suzuki?
It's
It is
Justin
Justin
Bogle.
Bogle.
Had 2 overalls that year.
And again, this is I don't think he has quite as much talent as Justin Hill, but this is a very talented guy as well that I think can be right in the conversation with like Dean Wilson and
As long
and
as
all
he
those
stays
guys.
off the
So,
ground.
That's always a scary thing with him because of his concussions.
Yeah, and God, it breaks my heart every time he hits the ground.
All right, so what are we thinking? Give me a finishing range.
10 to 15.
Okay.
10 to 15. I mean, I can't really say much more. I'll act everything he said.
I mean, he's right there with your Max Anstey's. He's right in there with your Dean Wilsons.
Justin Brayton. Not as fast as Brayton, but 10 to 15.
I mean, even last year he had started to get some things rolling.
Best finish was a
worked his
ninth.
way from like 14th to 9th at an Atlanta round.
Yep.
So I think he has just a steady year. He builds his social media fan base and starts making a little money off some of that kind of stuff.
If he stays healthy, I totally agree with you guys, but I could see him getting hurt again because obviously he's prone to that.
I hope not.
Coach, you got anything to add to the Justin Bogle argument there?
No, I couldn't agree with Cole more. I mean, he's a wonder to watch. He's poetry in motion. It sounds a little hokey, but he's a joy to watch. I love his attitude. I do agree that he realizes that his ship has sailed. Goes back to the Justin Hill. Goes back to that when the foot is off your throat, their personalities are allowed to really come out. It's gonna help them. And I think at the end of the day, it was a good buy for the Suzuki Twisted Tea team. I'm sure he's going to bring a lot of attention to the team, both on and off the track. The fact that they're letting him stay in Florida, I think, is pretty cool. Whether that means, I'm not sure exactly, was he at the compound or wherever he may be.
Yeah,
but
Burner and Lawrence Boys and all that, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Coop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's down there at the compound. Yeah, and it's that facility has become more of, they work really hard, but they also like to play really hard. I mean, you look at the Lawrence brothers, and then obviously Cooper's there, and it's just a mixture all the way around with Savachi and everybody. But no, I think Bogle is a tremendous asset. I know he brings money to the team, so that's a win-win for the team. So yeah, I think I would have to agree with you. I had a more 13 to 16 range. If the field is full, I don't see him breaking up inside that top 10, but 13 to 15, I think, is completely realistic for him.
Their pit parties are going to be pretty cool with him there. No, I mean, think about it. If you want to talk about the social media aspect of it, the pit parties.
And I like
Billy Grotto and Twisted Tea, baby.
He's got like kind of like a funny sense of humor and stuff too. And with the Twisted Tea, there's some humor with Twisted Tea, and it just, with the whole meme thing. You ever seen that where the dude just gets his face blown out by the dude with the Twisted Tea? Yeah.
So.
And Bogle comes up with some weird, funny shit anyway.
I mean,
Oklahoma boys are weird.
That team, I think, is going to survive off social media because they have 7 Deuce Deuce, they have the Twisted Tea thing, now they have Bogle. I think that's good. But someone on the team who doesn't do the social media thing quite as great as everyone else does,
Heartthrob.
Brandon Hartraft.
See, I like Heartthrob.
I like him too. I think this is another growing year for him, though. I don't see him taking a major step.
Does anybody know what the issue was last year? Was there something that came out?
Nothing I've
Bike
heard.
issue. He had a lot of issues during Supercross, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And he wasn't. He didn't disclose what it was, but basically he was not confident in his equipment.
Well, I've got him at 13th to 18th place.
I think. Well, I agree with you, Travis, about the not big step, but also I think you could say it is big step because last year he struggled really badly. Now that we know it is a bike thing, I think he's in the main. There's no reason he's not going to be in the main every weekend.
I think he's going to be an LCQ guy.
No, he'll be in the LCQs, but I'm saying there was a lot of times where he didn't make it into the mains.
Got it.
I think he is going to be one of those guys that's the best of the rest, and I think just
could be and a sleeper fantasy pick.
Yeah. I mean, he ended the year really well in outdoors, got a couple top 10s. Talk about the field being depleted. That's a confident boost for him. So I think he's in the main every weekend. And I could see him around 13 to 16th. I think that I think he's just going to keep growing and growing, and I think there's no reason why in a couple of years he's not a consistent top 10 guy. Like, he's made leaps and bounds as far as when he went to pro to where he is now. It's just everybody's got to remember he only had 2 years in the 250 class.
Yeah.
And he didn't even have full 2 years.
Yeah.
So
all right, not bad. All right, let's move on here. Moving to the Rocky Mountain team. Justin, we'll start with your boy, Max Anstey.
Okay.
You got that $20?
Shut up. Are we going to keep going with this
For
conversation?
real, you got that $20?
You got that $20 for him? Or
Don't
what,
look
dude?
at me like that. We'll talk about this after.
He watched us shake on air.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about this right now. Can we
You
get
owe
on?
the man $20.
Coach has 11 minutes.
That's fine.
Okay.
Anyway,
And about Max.
how's your boy Max going to do this year? Best finish last year, 12th, 21st overall in points. Go ahead.
I think that because now he has a full year of learning Supercross.
You hear that
the
gargling noise?
I actually like all three. As much as I hate this team, as much as I absolutely hate this team, three of my favorite dudes are on this team, which sucks because that means I have to root. I can just take Forrest out of it.
Who's your other favorite dude?
You got
Savachi?
Savachi, McElrath, and Anstie. You guys know I like McElrath.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he had a full year learning. He's got adapted fully now. I think that when he first came over here, he wasn't really settled in a place yet in California. I'd imagine now he's in Florida, living there full time, like just getting used to the culture again that is America. Like I said, as much as I hate to say it, the bike's good. It's been a while since he's been on a KTM, so that's probably going to be a little bit of a learning curve. But I think I see him in basically the same spot, just a little bit better. Like last year, he was pretty much like 15 to 20.
Wherever Wilson is where he's going to be, because those boys battle the fuck out of each other every time.
I know. I think it'll be.
I mean, we're going to use this a lot, but he's a 10 to 15 guy at this point. I don't
think
see
his
him
best
making
finish
a huge step.
I think his best finish this year is going to be. I say that he'll go 2 better. I think he gets a 10th.
Yeah.
Because once again, just a huge learning curve going back to Supercross. Now he's got it. He's got to feel with how to go into his program, how his race day schedule is going to go.
Yeah, but the only thing we got to talk about is he is on a different bike, new team,
but a better bike.
Steel frame gate. Yes, better bike, but still
I don't know about
changing.
that, though. I do want to point something out. And
Cable
Coach
to
kind of
hydraulic
talked about
clutch.
that they did have factory equipment. That may have changed since some of the photos that I had seen.
Yeah.
But they were on AEO suspension, which is just a dealership out in California. And before they were running the factory services engines from KTM. The bikes I had seen did not have the factory services clutch cover or any of that kind of
But
stuff.
AEO is still good stuff, though. It's not
So
factory services.
it's not factory equipment, but it is a step up from
Yes.
where he's at. But I don't think it's the same bike that he would have gotten last year.
But it is a better bike than that Suzuki, even if it's not factory, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You know,
like I said, we got to take into account the change here.
Yes.
And I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like sometimes the factory stuff, there's limitations around that.
Yeah.
Maybe these suspension guys, AEO, maybe they get in the motor with XPR or some of those guys, and they can tune it in maybe even better to those guys' liking.
And I also think, and I'm not one of these people that likes to harp on this kind of stuff, but because everybody talks about it. But if he is training at the 83 compound, like if that's where he's relocated, I don't know. I'd assume so. He's in Florida. So if he's training at the 83 compound, he's there with Joey. He's going to be there with Shane. He's going to be there with Bogle, Coop, Lawrence Brothers, all those guys. Nothing against Hartraft and Entiknap, and those was only 2 teammates. The group he's with now is a little bit more his style. Like the people he's hanging around and associating himself with are a little bit more his style.
Macarath's an outlier in that.
Yeah, but like I said with Joey, like the Lawrence brothers and Max, like I would love to hear those conversations that those dudes are having
Probably
off camera.
great.
Exactly. So it's a little bit more his speed. So I think that's also going to help with him just going in and be like, hey, like, you know, my mind's in a good place. Everything's cool. I'm not stressing about shit during the week. So I think that his best finish is a 10th, and I just think he just kind of goes a little bit notch better than he was last year because, once again, he's got a full year in Supercross. And to be honest with you, he did better than even my expectations were last year.
Like I said, I see him 10 to 15th. Coach, any thoughts on the Brit there from the Rocky Mountain team?
Well, I like what Cole said when he was talking about earlier about, you know, getting the pressure off. You got to understand Max is pretty tight with the new owner, Mark McKenzie. They go all the way back to the original beating grounds together. I don't think Max has any pressure. The fact that Mark is an investor in this team, Mark, it was part of him coming on as an investor was that, you know, Max would be part of it. We saw Max did really, really well on the starts last year. He's not afraid. He's a good starter. I would agree that the bike, if it gels with his riding style, which is yet to be seen, I think he has zero pressure. I think he's going to actually, I know Justin's probably going to get mad at me for this, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Max be the top guy out of these 3. I don't know that Shane's back's going to let him ride to his fullest potential. I don't think Joey, I just think he's too on or off. I like him as a person, but as a racer, he's either all in or he just seems to be a little bit fragile. Where I think Max Anstey's fun, having a good time. Doesn't hurt when you're pretty tight with the owner, so your risk of getting let go, even with a subpar performance, is not going to really materialize. So I don't think you'll see subpar performances because He has no pressure. I think it's a perfect scenario for Max Anstey for 2022.
This is my biggest question for Max Anstey. Does he get paid?
We don't have time to get
That
into
was a
all
low
that.
blow. Sorry.
I'm gonna assume at some point, maybe it's not from the team, but he's getting paid from somebody.
Well,
That was just a Butler Brothers.
Well,
jab.
yeah, it
Sorry.
is. But but if you want to be honest, we're not going to go any further than this comment. But if you want to be honest, I don't. It's not like I know Max personally, but I was around him a lot when he was an amateur. The way he does business, the way his dad does business, Max is not a guy that does shit for free.
yeah.
So he's getting paid from someone. Maybe it's not the team. Once
Yeah.
again, I don't know. But he's not a guy that does stuff for free. So he's getting paid from somebody. Who it is, who knows?
Yeah. Well, okay. So Coach has got to go. So let's move through the rest of this team, and then we'll get into asking Coach some questions here.
Okay.
Speaking of the back issues, Coach, we'll go to you with this one. McElrath, I mean, does he make it through the year? Is this back problem going to be like Zacho, where all of a sudden, like, he's just going to be like, oh, I retire? Like, what are your thoughts on this? Because this is your wheelhouse here of, like, the body and how the body breaks down. So what are your thoughts there?
I love the fact that you asked the question that way. Here's the challenge. I don't know him personally. You guys don't know him personally. What is the actual truth of the magnitude of his injury? I mean, we heard that his back blew out when he was in a midair flight. How do you file that conversation? It's not like he came up. It's not that he whiskey throttled, or it's not that he flat landed and came off the track and his back was blown out because we saw him land on it like Cooper Webb did. We go, oh, that was a pretty brutal back injury. All we heard was his back gave out during a midair flight, and then all of a sudden the season's over. So that to me tells me that there's got to be a lot more below the hood. Are we privy to that information? No. That's part of the challenge that we run in our sport. This is where I think everybody keeping everything under tight lips. When you're riding for a team, it seems like it's a good idea because, quote unquote, you don't want to show any signs of weakness or any kinks in the armor. Well, now, unfortunately, a year and a half later, what are we asking? Is he durable? Can he go the distance? And I think that's going to be the biggest doubt. I don't think there's any of us on the phone tonight that would doubt that Shane could be a top 10 guy. He's proven that he can go fast. I mean, let's go back to when he was on TLD 250. I mean, he was a beast. I mean, him and Anderson, and remember that showdown? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We tend to have amnesia when it comes to, it wasn't that long ago that he was the man. Mm-hmm. And for somebody of that badass capability, has a back that goes out on a flight, makes me wonder what's the truth about the spine. We saw what happened to, if we jump down and go and look at Osborne, it's enough that eventually you can't win the battle. So $1 million question on Shane, is the speed there? Absolutely. Yeah. Good equipment? Absolutely. But we don't know what the true history of his back. So I don't know. He's a big question mark.
Yeah, I think he is the most mysterious man in the whole field.
So in all fairness, the one race he did last year, because he came back for one.
The heat race
was really good, and in the main, even with blowing himself out in that heat race, 14th in that main.
And he was running 10th, I think,
for a while. Yeah.
It pains me to say, I really like Shane a lot. I've been a big believer of Shane. I will just say I think he makes it 4 rounds, decent rounds, and we see him exit the series round 7. Because kind of like I said with Zach, coming from someone who has back issues, same thing I said about Zach, back issues like that, especially like Coach just articulated, your back just blows out in the middle of the flight. There's more there. Back issues don't go away. Mm-hmm. You can do things, obviously. We know what you can do to make those subside for a little bit, but ultimately back issues don't just go away. I think this is going to be Shane's last year racing, and I don't think we even see him for outdoors.
I mean, I would agree with that. We just don't know.
Terrible.
And it's a fucking bummer, man, because he never really got a shot to show.
Yeah.
And Shane he's just such a good dude. I mean, from what we see, like Coach said, he doesn't know, none of us know him personally. What you see on camera, he's just such a good dude, and it sucks to see him never really get a actual shot.
Yeah. He's just, I mean.
That's the cruel part of our sport, though. We could have a laundry list of guys that never got the shot they deserve.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so up in the air that I don't even know how to play it. I was shocked by the signing. I still don't know what the hell, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you guys think it makes through the whole season?
Know. Huh?
You guys think it makes through the whole season?
No. The back thing's way, in my opinion, it's too much.
You kind of called it with Zacho, and Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
one
mean-
time you were right. Nailed it on
Yeah,
the
you
head,
said
dude.
the thing with Zacho. He tried to come back.
Really?
And then
One
back.
time? Fuck you.
Yeah, one time you were right. So,
Yeah, okay, sure.
all right, Justin, let's go to your next person here on this team. This is your boy.
This is my boy.
This is your
Oh,
boy.
This is my
turn the
boy.
camera off.
Joey Savacci.
So,
Before you start with that, I'm going to cut you off.
okay.
Because this was a point that I was kind of falling into the Savachi thing. It really sucks to say this too, but he's another guy that's kind of got boned by the sport and is never going to be able to show his true
This is the
potential.
first year he hasn't really actually gotten boned, though, because he's on a team, the same team consistently.
But
Yeah.
still, I mean that
No, yeah.
that shot he had at Kawasaki and the way he was riding,
Yep.
you'll never see that again.
Yeah, but that was screwed. He was screwed on that from day one. Let's face it. He knew going in that and he's even
He's
said that, 'cause
never
wasn't
running
he on
top five
Gypsy or
and competing
something?
for podiums ever again.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
he
say,
was on it was the Oz Open.
Yeah, he knew he was boned on that from the beginning. Like there was no one in that was. It wasn't like he was blindfolded going into that. Like, oh, I'm going to be able to stay at Kawasaki. No way. AC was coming. He knew it. The team knew it. Everyone knew it.
I
It
think he was
get
just
in, get
hoping
your
that
shit
year.
done.
I think he was hoping his results. They were
That-
going to find Monster could have kicked in a little money. That happens
And
all
the
the
crazy
time. At that
Unless
time.
he went out and won races, like
But
won
the
a lot
crazy
of
thing
races.
is,
it wasn't
that
gonna be a
Supercross
thing.
season,
we all know it.
His results were fucking good.
They weren't bad. Yeah.
and they're never going to be that fucking good again. I don't care.
I
what you
mean,
guys
maybe. I don't know. His best finish last year was a 6th, and he was 10th in points. That, to me, is not a fucking terrible year for what you look at Joey Savacci at.
I think he does the same thing again, except I think that, I know everybody and probably even Coach, because Coach kind of alluded to it with the Max thing, because Joey's up and down. He thinks Max will be the best. I actually see Joey getting a few top fives this year, because of the fact that this is the first time since Cowie he's been on the same team. He's not having to relearn
Yeah.
all the people he's working with, having how to communicate with people, how to talk to whoever his trainer is, his manager, his mechanic, whatever. He's not having
with
to
new management, did they keep all the same people though?
I think the only person, and Kev actually talked about this, I think only one of the mechanics left, and I don't think it was Joey's.
Burner's not there anymore either.
Well, who knows what Joey and Burner's
Yeah,
relationship.
Burner's still at the same compound. I'm sure they talk.
So
Yeah.
my point is that it's a big thing mentally when you go in. We know how big part of this was sport. I think he's going to be going in saying, I don't have to learn all this shit all over again, because he went from Cowie to Suzuki to KTM. Same team, same program,
Yeah.
bike's different,
Like,
but I think... like I said, I think he's going to be in the same spot, and I think he gets multiple top fives. Now, where he's at the end of the year in points, who knows? Because, yes, Joey just has those moments where you're like, what the fuck are you doing? But it's a big deal for him to not have to relearn a whole program over again.
I mean, I will agree with you on that. I'm not really going to argue with you about any of this. The problem is it was so quietly decent, is how I'm going to word it, last year, that it's like,
Oh, I didn't
I
even
don't have-
realize his best finish was a 6th.
I didn't either. I didn't realize he was top 10 in points until
Yeah.
I literally looked the info up yesterday. I remember there was a couple times he was running
And
really
heat races,
good.
but they were
in
in
heat
heat
races
races.
and
And
stuff.
tuck the front wheel.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
tuck the front wheel, and
But
I
they were
would
in
sit
heat
there and
races.
tell
They
you,
weren't
like,
mains.
yeah. So
What do you call it?
Savacci
Savacci
syndrome, bro. Yeah.
And look at even outdoors. We talked about this many times. Up until the end of the season, he was the best finishing KTM guy at a lot of points.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, he just had a quiet year the whole entire year. It's
Yep.
just, I think there's a big thing to be said, the fact that he's on the same program mostly
Yeah.
over again.
And we may see some flashes this year from him.
I mean,
Maybe.
it won't even shock me if there's a couple times where he look at the top of the board in qualifying and he's fastest, because once again, he did that like 4 times on Cowie.
Okay, let's not go too far here. You and
I don't think
you
that's
and
a-
I are
Travis,
right
what
on.
was
Oh, go ahead.
Travis? What was Savacci's top finish outdoors last year?
It wasn't outdoors. His top finish in Supercross, he was 6th.
Okay. And what was the attrition rate towards the second half of Supercross 450?
Was it terrible?
It wasn't
I don't
like-
feel
it wasn't
we
like
lost.
outdoors.
AC was out.
AC.
Anderson was out.
Yep.
Osborne was out.
Yep.
See, that's the problem, is we tend to look at that and we don't remember who was pretty much out of contention at that point.
Yeah.
So that's where I think it's going to be pretty diluted. Again, I know it's a redundant comment. Healthy Yamaha, Ferrandis, Tomac, Craig. Healthy KTM, Webb, Plessinger, Marv. Healthy Cowie, AC Anderson. Healthy Honda, Sexton, Roxon. Savacci's going to be hard pressed.
I think we're going to see a lot of the same of like top 10 stuff unless the attrition rate hits really hard. Because, I mean, okay, you're throwing those 3 guys out. Well, Zach wasn't in it all year, and he's not going to be in it now because he is actually retiring, from what I understand.
Shocking.
And then
Zacho.
you look at the other guys. Yes, they were out. Ando, we'll get to him. He's on a new team. I mean, AC.
I think for me, what
We'll
I'm saying,
see.
I think what I'm saying, what I'm saying about what I think he's going to do in the top 5. Like I said, I don't think he's going to do it consistently. I just think I still believe in enough in Joey's his speed that even when all those guys are clicking, that he can still be that guy, because we seen it a few times last year. Like I said, heat races, tuck the front end.
Yep.
And once again, we got to remember too the fact of how behind he was coming into the season when we got to Supercross.
Yeah, because he was the last minute on that KTM.
But I don't
think
disagree
he'll
with
be
what
good.
Coach was saying. That has a big part to do with it, and we do forget that. But like I said, I forgot he even got a 6. I didn't even realize that, being a Savachi fan.
Yeah.
Like I said, who knows if he finishes better in the points at the end of the season. I just think we're going to see a little bit more Cowie version of Joey Savachi than we had the last couple of years. But once again, he's still going to have those moments where you're going to be like, what are you doing, dude? And that's going to ultimately hurt him. I'm just happy that he's on a team. He's not having to worry about that, and it's the same team.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think
we'll
that's a big
see.
part of it.
All right, so we're getting to the end of our time here with Coach. I know we got a few more minutes, Coach, because I did see your text there, but we'll still get this somewhat wrapped up here. We'll give you a few minutes of spotlight. So, Justin, I know you have a few ending questions. So, ask Coach your few ending questions. Just start with one, let him answer, and then we'll go through the other couple.
Coach, who do you think is going to exceed expectations this year? I know we didn't get a chance to talk about everybody, but one of the guys, and I don't even mean like they're going to go win, get top 5 in points, just somebody that we're not really hearing a lot about or people are talking about. Who do you think might exceed expectations this year?
Yeah, I think the guy to pay attention to is going to be Christian Craig. I think he's in probably the driver's seat more so than anybody, because he's the only guy that's got a 250/450 combo going on.
Okay.
And when we talk about 250s on another show, we'll get into it. But when you stop and you think about that 250 class, you've got to realize you've got Nichols, Cooper, Craig, Martin, and Faulkner. All of those guys have to point out this year. All 5 of them.
Yep.
Because Nichols and Cooper got to come back because they're defending champions, but Craig, Martin, and Faulkner, they're at that threshold points. So when you look at somebody like a Christian Craig, he's already got his foot in the door at Yamaha. But let's look at that Yamaha program, and I know we're getting kind of towards silly season for 23, but does Tomac retire? If Tomac retires, opens up a spot. If Tomac retires, it opens more money for Randis to stay. Do they continue to grow their 450 program, or now they pick up a couple guys for relatively cheap? I think you're going to be looking at Christian Craig that smells blood. I think he's got incredible talent. I mean, even though I still see him as a young guy in the podium, in the paddock as a whole, I still think Christian Craig is going to be the surprise if I were to look at all the 450 riders. Good equipment, good program, but nobody's really talking about him for obvious reasons. When you're sharing the locker room with Ferrandis and Tomac, that's going to happen.
All right. So, and before we get to your champion, who do you think will not live up to expectation? And once again, I'm not trying to diss on anybody. I don't mean, they're going to be like 15th and not make mains. Just somebody that everybody's talking about who they think is going to be battling for a title, top 5, just not quite living up to that.
This time of the year, everybody's flying at the test track, right? So if we had the stopwatch nationals tomorrow, there'd be 37 number 1 plates offered up on Saturday night.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Tomac. I think Tomac is in an environment where he's got a lot of young blood.
Okay.
I think Tomac has made his money. Tomac has had tremendous success. I will go head-to-head with anybody that wants to argue. Tomac had no place else to go. So this was, he got that contract signed very early. I mean, in the history of our sport, have we ever seen a public announcement come from an OEM, i.e. Cowie, saying that they were not bringing him back? We never saw it ever.
Nope.
It was probably the worst kept secret in history that he was going to start Yamaha. The idea here is Tomac doesn't need the money. Tomac doesn't need any more success. I mean, maybe a Des Nations championship, he'd love to have that to his credentials. But I just, would any of us be surprised if Tomac came out and won the first 5 rounds? No. But I think at the end of the season, when you're dealing, again, I go back to sharing the locker room with Ferrandis, you got Christian Craig in there. I just think, like you guys were saying earlier, he's still, the other guys, i.e. Ferrandis, is still extremely, extremely hungry. And I see Tomac going, I really have no need to fight. Like you guys were saying, that fine line between twisting the throttle, between common sense and willing to risk what it takes to win. I don't see Tomac willing to do that. Again, he could prove me wrong, and I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. But that's who I would have if you were to pin me down on a dollar bet. That's who I would go with.
And who's your champion?
For 2022, that's a tough one because, as I said earlier, Sexton looks abnormally strong and big. We know he's got a lot of talent. He's put on a lot of muscle mass. He's, what do you call it? Sophomore year, got the bugs worked out.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can bet too far against him. I think Webb, the typical pit bull, wants to just smash everyone's face in. And then you've got Ferrandis that says, hey, last year wasn't a fluke. Let me show you. I think it's going to be a three-way battle between Ferrandis, Webb, and Sexton. I think, and I know this is not going to sound very impressive, at the 6th round mark, we're going to really see whose armor's the thickest of those three. Sexton obviously wants to be heir apparent at Honda. I don't see Roczen going into outdoors next year, but I see Sexton wanting to be the top guy at Honda. I see, Jet Lawrence on the fast track to go into Honda 450. So Sexton wants to lay claim to that top podium in that rig. So I see him having a lot of spitfire. Webb, obviously with Plessinger coming over, even though they may be good friends and they may joke around a lot, Webb does not want to be second seat in that rig, come hell or high water. And then same thing with Ferrandis. Ferrandis wants to show them that he is the top guy at Yamaha, regardless of what Tomac's bringing to the table. So that's my three-way battle. At the end of the year, I'm going to go with Ferrandis.
I like it.
Hey, I tell you what, a Cooper Webb versus Ferrandis battle for the title will be the most
gonna be
insane
awesome.
thing.
Oh, yeah, because neither of them will hesitate
Neither of
to
them
put the
give
other
a
one
shit,
over the berm.
but they'll also have a respect for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, a very healthy respect.
Yep. So, any other questions for Coach before he gets
I don't
off
know.
from
You guys
either of
have
you?
any?
All right. Well, Coach, thank you for coming
Thank you
on,
so
man.
much, buddy.
We appreciate it. I know you got some family stuff to do here, so we will definitely, as always, we'll have you on again throughout the year because I know you're dying to do podcasts right now with you and Cooksey on a hiatus for a while. So,
Have a Merry Christmas, buddy.
It just blows my mind. Somebody of Coach's stature just gives us yahoos the time
Yeah, I
of
know.
day.
We're a bunch of assholes over here.
he fucking loves me. Okay.
Whoa,
Like, I don't know
whoa.
what
It's
the
not just
hell.
you, dude.
It's
Look,
me.
What happened when he came up to Buck Bash? Came up here. You were off doing a thing. Me and Coach hung out the whole weekend. You ditched him.
Look,
I'm like,
as
I was
As he
Supercross.
said,
I was
asshole.
Supercross only, so I was irrelevant.
I was
Parked
like,
on the other
yeah,
side
Ed
of
was
the
over there
field.
crashing.
Hey.
Like, I'm the one who took Coach around.
As he said, I have this amazing track there with my bike and stuff. Yeah. Stand here and talk to me. No, go ride. All right. Look,
Yeah, whatever, dude.
he was not upset. He was happy. And he's even more happy with me because I have my tumbler.
Look, bro, I'll have it
with
on
my
for the
beverage.
A1 wrap-up show. Shut
you
up.
fucking better.
You son of a
I'm going to take it and give it to Cole for a Supercross only deal.
Cole ain't doing shit.
I'm gonna get one when I sign up for the training program to get a sprint enduro title next year.
A sprint enduro title.
Oh,
really?
God.
I'm going
Whatever,
woods racing,
bro.
boys.
Yeah,
All
whatever,
right.
dude.
Coach Robb, thank you once again. Remember to check him out, CompleteRacingSolutions.com. Coach, have a happy holidays, sir.
Thank you, buddy.
We will talk to you soon.
Sounds good, guys. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Take care.
Christmas.
Peace.
Take
Later.
care, Coach.
All right, boys. Coach Robb there. We are going to take a break, change batteries here. I got to take a leak. We'll
So
come
do I.
back. We're going to hit the rest of these teams. We got 1, 2, 3, 4,
We got a
5.
lot of stuff
Actually,
to
we
talk
got
about.
6 teams because I forgot to put gas on my list for some reason.
We got a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
to
so
talk
we got a lot to
of
talk
stuff to
about.
cover.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break here.
There's actually no commercial, but that'd be cool.
No, there's commercials.
There's going to be a fucking commercial.
Who's doing it?
There will
Travis
be
has
a commercial.
commercials, dude.
Oh, wow. Okay, whatever.
So thank you for interrupting. So even Supercross only over here knows that there's a fucking commercial. Yeah, that's right. You get up, you son of a bitch. All right, everybody. We will be right back in a second. All right, and we're back here. So we're back for factory teams. So we are going to start first factory team. Which one of you wants to take this? You want rock, paper, scissors?
Where are
for
we
it?
going?
We're going to Gas. We're having fun with Bam Bam.
I like this. So can I, guy, go first?
Go for it, buddy.
Can I guy go first? Go
Oh.
for it, Cole.
No, well, let's first start off. I threw out some Twitter stuff
All right.
and got a couple questions from some fans.
Okay.
The first question we got back from I think it was Leonard. Does Barsha win A1 again this year? Guys?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I mean,
No.
I think he's got some confidence. I think
what probability do you give him?
higher than what Justin probably.
Sure. Yeah, Justin doesn't think so. What probability do you give him, and then I'll tell you mine.
Over 75%.
I go 75%.
That's where I'm at. I just
38.5.
No one likes him.
I don't
so
know.
it's fine.
Just everybody always counts him out coming in A1 every year. He wasn't supposed to be good on the Yamaha when he signed late, all that stuff. Just something about that race he does well.
Yeah, and he's won the opener 3 years in a row.
Can he keep the winning going?
No, I think we see a lot of the same Justin Barsha we've seen in years past. Last year was
It's
the
a
same
contract
way.
year, though.
That means he'll do better outdoors. Supercross, we're going to see a lot of the
His
same.
career is also probably coming to an end pretty soon too.
Yeah, but I think he wants more. I think he wants one more contract.
That's what I mean.
I think it's a little different. I think there's a different Justin Barsha. We see it with guys in our sport too. They get to a certain point in their career where they actually mature a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think, let's face it, the way Barsha rides, if it translates anything into his personality, it's going to take a little while for him to mature. So he's maybe he's a late bloomer on the maturity thing.
Yeah.
He's got a guy like Will Hahn in his corner, keeping him in check now.
Yep.
He's wanted him in his corner for a while. Justin Barsha is being the real Justin Barsha. He, like I said, he's one of those guys that made the cusp of where he can be himself in the sport and not feel shielded. The vlogs are awesome. I love them.
They are pretty
Makes
good.
me more of a fan of him.
Yep.
His head's in a great place. He's on damn good equipment. He's on that bike for the second year now. Mm-hmm. Not afraid to test. Yamaha guys said that over and over again, that Justin Barsha was a joy to work with.
But that is my only concern with him, is because he is the only guy. We have no one else to test stuff, to take
You
that.
don't think all the notes from the previous chassis are moving over from KTM? They're done with that bike.
I mean, I do, yes, but he still has to test it and see what he likes. We've said this time and time again. Every rider's different. Everybody likes something different. So they can bring a whole bunch of notes from the previous chassis, but you still have to get to that point where he tests through something that he likes, and then we can move on from there. I don't like the fact that he's the only guy. I understand why they want him to be the main focus. He wants to be the main focus. He wants to be the guy on that team. I still think they'd be better if they had another dude, but whatever.
as far as having somebody to push him during the week to ride with, or like what
That I
are you
don't
getting
think-
at with having
that
He
I
another
rides
guy?
with the KTM guys.
I mean, I don't think that's a problem because he rides with the KTM guys.
Wilbur can
So
keep
I
him in
guess
check.
you're just worried there's not two people testing the same bike.
Yes.
Well, Will still
But
tests.
nobody is going to ride a bike like Barsha is. He is the best asset to getting his bike right.
All right. Well,
I think.
I agree. I mean, will keep his head in check. I think that I agree with Travis on the sense that you see a lot of the same. The only thing I will disagree that I think we see him because he was what, 5th in points last year, 4th in points.
I
think
don't
it was
know.
4th.
I don't have him written down.
he was battling for wins and because like everybody likes to talk about what Sexton was doing at the end of the year, but let's be real. If you take away Coop, Kenny, and Eli, Justin in a lot of those races was the best guy.
He was
after
really good.
them.
Yep. Yeah.
I think you see more of that. I think, or the same thing, except even further into the season, which I don't know how much further you can get because he was pretty much doing it until the last 3 rounds. Mm-hmm. I will say you see him pretty much in the same. I think he gets 2 wins this year, but I do think you see less 7th, 8th places, which he didn't really. It's not like he got a lot of.
You
them
see
anyways.
more consistency.
I guess you could say that, but once again, it's hard to say that because let's be real, he was pretty inconsistent last year for Justin Barsha. Like the few bad races that we got to remember that he had,
He came from way back,
and it
hauling
wasn't.
ass.
And I know people be like, "Well, it's always." Those races that were bad were not really his fault. It was stupid shit.
One was a shifter.
And then remember in Indy when he yarded everybody in the heat race, and then at the main he gets a terrible start, and then when he
It's
pivots,
preseason.
everybody goes in like everybody goes down literally right in front of him.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about his bad races, and yes, you make your own luck, but a lot of his bad races last year weren't really his own doing. It was,
Vince-
and yes, you put yourself in those situations with your starts. That is part of it, but I don't think you. I think this will be the most consistent we've ever seen Barsha. Now, whether that's like 5th, 6th, whatever, but I think I do agree. You see a lot of the same, except just a little bit better.
There were glimmers of that 250 Barsha.
Oh,
out
for
there
sure.
last year,
For sure.
And it's fucking awesome when Tomac is behind him because he wants nothing to do with passing him.
It's so awesome.
And it's not even just Tomac. There are so many guys that just park themselves behind Barsha because they know they can't pass him.
What was it, Orlando earlier? The Orlando race that like Eli was behind him, or no, Justin caught him.
Yeah,
and they were going back and forth for like 5-6 laps or whatever.
So top 5 dude.
I mean, I don't know if anybody would disagree with that. It's just
it's just as we get through this list, I think there's no consistent top 5 because there's so many dudes that could poke in there one weekend and then fall out the next weekend. It's going to be a musical chairs for 4th, 5th.
Yeah, that is one of the things with how great the field is at this point is that it's pretty much musical chairs. There's not like rookie that's winning every race or Stu that's winning every race or
2-3 guys I think that'll separate them.
I think so too.
On this list, there's probably, if you just look at like history over the last 3-4 years, there's only 3 well, I guess you could say 2 because one of them had a lot of injuries. 2 super consistent dudes in Supercross as far as their results. So
4 winners from last year.
I don't
only 4 winners.
Well, 5. Sorry, 5 with Barsha.
Yeah.
5. Sorry, because he's
Only
on my
5.
list. Only 5.
Yeah.
Yep. So he is one of 5 dudes to pull off a
we
win.
got Tomac, Roxon,
Coop, Barsha, and who was the 5th?
Marv.
Marv
Marv
forgot
did
about
get
that.
one in.
Yeah.
Forgot about that at the end of the year.
Marv did
Yep.
get one in.
So, all right. Anything
another year
else?
under his belt, too.
Anything else Barsha wise?
No.
So
A lot of the same.
top 5 dude probably sneaks a win in there somewhere.
Does he hang it up after this contract? Or
No,
does
I
he
think
get
he's got one
re-signed?
more in him. I think he's got one more.
Yeah.
I think they re-up him.
Yeah, I think he'll do one more 2-year deal and then he'll be out. So 2024 will be his last year.
Maybe
So-
he'll have a teammate though for his last year.
Yeah, maybe. So
Who's that going to be?
Hunter Lawrence.
I could see that.
That'd be cool.
Hunter Lawrence.
Anyway, okay, moving on. Next factory team we got Factory Husky. I'm just gonna pour a little out for my boy
For your dead homie. For your dead homie.
Zacho over here. Thought we were
I
good.
broke my back.
We're not good.
My
we
back
are
is
so
broken.
not
Spina
good.
bifida.
We were
Spinal.
so bad.
Spinal.
I thought we had a chance, but it doesn't really surprise me. I can't say when the news came out that he was
Hey,
going to
I
retire.
gotta tell you, Justin called it.
Justin did call it, but there was a
Give him a
glimmer.
smooch.
There was a glimmer of hope.
Give
He
him a
was right
smooch.
about this one.
Smooch.
Blind
if
squirrel
you're on
finds a
YouTube,
nut every once in a while.
Smooch the like button.
Here's the
while you're
thing,
there.
though.
Smoosh the like
you
button.
can give me all the credit in the world, but the reason why I was right is not a great reason because I
No.
know what it's like to have back issues. It's shitty.
Well, and then did you hear that? Like Husky is like dropped him. Like
yeah. The
supposedly
people are saying they're doing him dirty.
yeah. Supposedly
working with
last
Starling.
year he was. Yeah, he is.
That's
he
why
is.
I made that comment.
Didn't know that.
Because last year, so Steve touched on this on his show, and we won't spend too much time on Zach here, but Steve touched on this of like last year when he wasn't racing, he was
Riding
at the
coach, right?
races, coaching, helping the guys.
Hampshire wins.
Yeah,
under his
Hampshire
coaching.
wins. And then, like, from what Steve understands, he wanted to keep doing stuff like that, and Husky was basically like, nope.
See-
And it's super weird because Husky last year
out of-
was like, yeah, you can do this. This will be awesome. And then all of a sudden this year, like, he's coming back, and then, oh, whoops, sorry, won't work, can't come back. And they're like, oh, no, we're done with you.
So it's like a spite thing, or
I don't
Gonna be
fucking
real
know.
honest
It's
with
weird.
you. Other than one of the dudes we're going to talk about on this team, they're not really making a lot of great decisions in the last couple of
Yeah,
years.
Husky's a real.
Well, hey, you know what that all comes down to? Can and Bobby Hewitt.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
100%.
They can Bobby Hewitt. Now look at that place. They've been through two.
Well,
two
did you
team
listen to the
managers.
Gypsy thing?
Yeah. Scuba's
With
still there, right?
with
Scuba
Tommy
retired.
Tenders there when
I wanna
he
listen to that.
asked
That's
about
interesting. I want
Hewitt
to.
not being at the team anymore, and was that kind of like the exit strategy for Ando? And Tom was like, the team kind of changed a little bit after he left. Like, he didn't go into too much detail, and obviously he doesn't know everything because he's just, whatever, stupid filmer or whatnot. But
You'd be surprised what he
yeah,
knows.
but he basically was like,
Do we know for sure? Has it been announced that Scuba has officially left the team as team manager?
that I'm not sure of either.
Because that was obviously the word that we were all hearing during
Yeah.
Outdoors. If he's
Yeah.
gone, I don't know who the hell their team manager
Yeah,
is going to
I'm not 100% sure. But positive note for Dean Wilson, who is still on this team, he now gets to ride the new bike and not the
Is
old
he
bike.
get to ride the new one?
Yeah, because so originally when it was him, Zach, and Mookie and Zach were going to be on the new bike, and Dino was going to be on the old bike
hand-me-down
because they couldn't
shit,
get
yeah.
stuff. And now basically he's just going to get the new bike because Zach's not going to be there, and they're
Good
not
for him.
bringing anyone else on. So what do we think? I know, Cole, we'll start with you here because you're more of a Dean Wilson guy.
Yep.
What do you think about Dino for this year?
What makes you think I'm a Dean Wilson guy?
I mean,
I'm
we could
throwing
call
one right back at you.
We could call Wyman because he is a Dino homer.
See, I think my thing with liking riders is if I I'm going off a little bit of tangent here. But if there's a rider, I like him because he's probably a dude I'd go hang out with.
Yeah.
I would go hang out with Dean Wilson.
Yeah.
It'd be fun as hell.
Duh.
Yeah.
Like Chase Sexton, I wouldn't want to hang out with him.
No, I would not. No.
I like his dad more than I like Chase.
Yeah. So anyway.
Like a-
Kier, I've been around.
Yeah, no, Dino would be cool to hang out with. But anyway. So what do you think about Dino?
That's really interesting that he gets the new bike.
Yeah.
And he's really good about usually posting on social media and stuff, but it's been a really quiet off season, I think, for guys posting videos of him riding.
It's been really quiet for a lot of off season.
I mean, I haven't seen any video of Mookie. I haven't seen anything of Plessinger. I haven't seen.
We're going to touch on off season videos when we get down to the HRC team here a little bit, but go ahead.
That's really about the only guys we've seen ride. Mm-hmm. But Dino, like I said, 12th, 13th, 14th place guy. That's kind of where he's found his comfort zone.
What do you think his best finish was last year in Supercross?
An 8th.
Actually, yeah. Good job.
Yeah,
And he was
it was an
11th in points, which is shocking.
That's really, really good.
Yeah.
But like I said, he was that 10th, 12th, 13th guy, depleted. He moved up a couple spots, consistent.
Yeah. Is this his last year?
Yeah, on the contract.
Yeah, and I think you see him go into some kind of ambassador role for somebody.
Maybe he does more chew-tube.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna make a damn bit of difference being on the new bike.
I don't think so either.
No, I don't think so either.
I'm not
with the
trying to
new
be a
bike.
hater of Dean Wilson, but I've lost all hope in him doing anything. Even though he's been staying healthy, and it's good to see him stay healthy with all the injuries he's had. But the thing with Dean though is like kind of like with the Joey thing, like you forget. Like I didn't know that 8th was his best finish. I probably would have told you like 10th.
Yeah.
But you kind of forget that he's out there sometimes because he's not really doing anything that you're like,
He's a consistent 10 to 15th place guy, and you got to use him for his social media reach.
I think he will only
That's
be
it.
10. I think he will only be inside the top 10 if we get to the end of the season and a lot of dudes are out. Because
Yep.
I'm here to tell you, A1, if all the dudes that we're talking about stay healthy, knock on wood, make it there.
Yeah.
I think he is like 17th.
Yeah.
Dean Wilson he's found his place in the sport.
Eli
that works
Tomac
for him.
forever changed his career.
Yeah.
Eli Tomac ruined Dean
It did.
Wilson's
He
career
really did.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that pass.
Yeah.
But like I said, he's found his place in the sport. He doesn't necessarily have to go out and get those high-end results. The sponsorships that he's inked are based on who he is as a person.
Yep.
Is he still affiliated with Dan Bilzerian?
No.
No, Dan Bilzerian, I
He's a
don't.
douche, but I was just wondering.
I
don't
mean,
know,
yeah,
that was
that's
a
a
weird
weird
deal.
situation.
Yeah,
but
I was
still,
wondering.
no, he's not.
But again, another cool ass situation. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool as hell that you rode your bike through that mansion, jumped the pool, and all that kind of shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
So, no, I'm with you guys. 10 to 15th place dude. If we see some attrition rate, I think he moves up, but that's going to be the only reason. Outside of that, just a consistent, quiet 10th to 15th place guy. And we keep using 10 to 15th place. I know there's a lot more dudes than that, and they're going to see some of them fall out of 15th
It's just 'cause of the
place.
jockeying.
Yeah, but it's just because of the jockeying. And the 15th to 22nd place, I reserve for the kind of like the outliers we started with, the fucking privateer guys. Like, those guys are definitely going to be back there.
Well, it's kind of like even like 4 to 8. Like
Yeah.
the jockeying a position that's going to be between 4 and 8 one
Yeah,
weekend.
and which realistically you could go 4 to 12.
Oh,
at
yeah,
this
for sure,
point with
for
the,
sure.
with the guys. So, okay, so
You start. This is a guy you're.
this
high
is
on.
this is a guy I'm really high on this year,
Oh, wait.
which I have not been high on before. But we're gonna move on to this. Malcolm Stewart,
Mookie Fever.
best finish last year was a third, 6th in points. I think he gets a win this year.
I don't disagree.
And you actually, I can hold you to that he's not saying this because he said this the last time we did a show before the show we did at Bucks.
Yeah.
We were talking about this the off-season show. You said
Yeah.
that. So it's not like you're
I'm really high. He's working with Alden. Again, everyone was like, "Oh, well, Mookie's not going to be able to work with Alden." He knows what the fuck Alden's going to put him through.
Yeah.
He's seen it with his brother.
Yep.
He knows what the situation is. So he knew going in when he signed that contract of, "Hey, I'm going to do this." He's solid in
He's
a place.
committed himself to 2 years of
2
working
years,
his balls off.
new bike,
outdoors.
good money. Yeah, outdoors
okay.
too, indoors and out for 2 years. So
I'm pretty high on Mookie too.
he did what he wanted to do last year of go
healthy.
in, stay healthy, and I mean, you look at his results. He's in the top 10 every fucking race.
He was fit. I think he got like a 5th between 5 and 6th, like 4 weekends in a row.
Let's put it this way: you don't luck into 6th in points last year
No,
because our attrition
no,
rate
not
was
at all.
not that high,
Hey.
and we again had 20 some dudes all on really good equipment. So
And let's also let whatever the hell goes on, whatever things they're putting in their bodies down there in that Baker camp, it works.
it does.
It works.
It does.
At
Lot of
least for
EPOs.
2 years.
Hey, the bakery is having a going out of business sale, but outside of that, yeah, it's
They got
fine.
a lot. Never mind. I'm not gonna go on that road.
What the
Sorry.
special ingredients for the dough?
They're selling a lot of stuff.
The bakery will be closed after next year.
Yeah. Alden's probably going back home.
Yeah.
Interesting. You guys got to fill me in on more. Anyway,
It's not that hard to put these puzzle pieces together. Everyone left.
what? So you just think he's going to be done?
No, because we'd also heard things back
Nice,
during
yeah.
outdoors about.
Okay.
So-
Yeah. You guys are going to have to remind me about that because I want to hear more off camera.
We'll talk off the camera.
But anyway, let's just not argue with the results that program has produced. Let's not forget about the year Mookie came in on a Suzuki Ride 365.
Yep.
9th hour. Year after that, 9th hour deal. Star Yamaha out of fucking nowhere.
Yep.
When has he realistically ever put effort into getting ready for a season with no
Yep.
other worries?
And now he signed
Never.
a deal. He inked a deal early. Like I said, a 2-year deal, indoors and out, training situation, all lined up. I mean, he's taking care of it at this point. So this is going to be the best Mookie we are going to see, period. Has anybody seen, I'll ask you because you're more on this. Have you seen any Insta videos of him?
Nothing.
I haven't seen anything either.
Husky, the only video I've seen of him, and this was like 2 months
The
ago.
launch video.
Yeah, Husky put
Yeah.
out that launch video of him riding at the compound, and that was it.
Yep.
And they're on the new bike as well. Mm-hmm. They say that new bike goes through the whoops better.
Yep.
Boy.
See,
He's already so fast through the whoops, he
See,
can take
my-
the chain off and put it back on
my
before
thing,
he even
though,
hits the
is,
next one.
That's what scares me, though, is, and I said this when we talked about
You think
this,
he's going to be too fast?
I think that he said, I want to make it through a whole year. I just want to do just enough. I want to be healthy. I want to prove I can make it through the whole season, know what it's like to go a whole season. Well, now that he's got that out of his brain, I'm scared that he's going to come into some of these races feeling himself, feeling that he can go past that limit. And once again, we all saw what happened when he did that 2 years ago. He literally defied the laws of gravity and physics, and like his chain unwrapped itself, wrapped back on, and he broke his femur. So that's the only thing that scares me with Mookie is if you can tell me, if you can get a crystal ball and tell me that at the end of the season he's going to be healthy, then I'll agree with everything you guys are saying. Whatever.
He's getting a win.
Yeah, but do you think I think he learned last year with going through the whole year of like, okay, cool, I can push it a little bit more here.
Yeah.
But not heat race Mookie.
But see,
He's
that's what
winning a
scares
lot
me.
of heat races
But that's
this
what
year.
scares me, though, is we don't know, though, that because what Cole just said and what you just said, that this is the first time he's ever he's had a whole entire offseason to get ready, had everything in line, knowing where his program's going to be the year after. Who knows if he just throws that all out the window now and goes, now I'm just going to go for broke. That's what scares me.
Yeah.
We don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he has this control of where his speed is at now, and he can go at 92, 93%. But once again, if you're going to tell me that Mookie's going to go 100% at any point this year, I'm going to tell you he's going to hit the ground.
Yeah.
Because he is just like his brother.
Yep.
And me being one of the biggest James Stewart homers there is, James did not learn how to stay on two wheels when he at his best, and Mookie is the exact same guy. But once again, you can tell me he just stays healthy.
Does he have a switch?
Like an on and off switch?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Oh, you mean like just be able to flip it on wherever he wants
No,
to?
like being able to ride in his zone.
If
Like
he's going
for
as
James,
fastest,
there
no.
was wide the fuck open or there was nothing.
I think that if he's in his mind that he's going to try to be the fastest Mookie he can be, no, he does not have a switch.
I don't know, man. I think his
But history says otherwise, though.
What he's
Yeah.
seen in his lifetime, he might
yeah,
have.
But see, history has not proven that that's a step.
But man, but last year, dude,
Yeah,
he was
but he-
able to do that,
but he
and
backed it down.
James never was.
But he backed it down, though. That's because he
Yeah.
wasn't trying to go
and
as
I don't
fast,
think
though.
he ain't coming in last year with as much confidence as he's going to have coming in this
Yeah,
year.
I don't know,
that's-
man. Here's the thing: if he has figured it out, them boys are in trouble.
Exactly. I completely
He's going to
agree.
have the most chiseled jawline.
Jesus Christ!
I completely agree. But once again, though, history says that he is
It
not.
does. It does. I
and
can't
that's-
argue with
that's what
statistics and
scares me.
facts, so-
that's what scares me is
Yeah.
if you could just tell me, hey, he's gonna be healthy at the end of the year. I don't disagree with anything you guys are saying, but it really scares me that he's not going to be able to do it because
Yeah.
history says he can't.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. It's a
Yeah.
wait and see thing, but we all think he's gonna do well, and we
Yeah.
all think he's gonna pull off a win
sure.
as long as he doesn't ragdoll it, a la Will Hahn in the first practice at A1.
He went backwards.
Yep. So okay, so that wraps up Husky there. Moving on to our next team.
I just want to say something one more time.
okay.
Mookie's going to be good.
Okay. Great. Thank you. That was insightful.
Thank you. That
Really
was a
good.
deep
Really
perspective
helpful.
right there.
Really helpful. Deep. Deep,
he's
bro.
going to be nothing short of exciting.
Would you talk into the microphone? That'd be great.
He's going to be nothing short of exciting.
Especially if he comes into a
Christ.
corner too hot and just launches the berm
Into the nets.
into the net.
Steve Mathis
He's going
Memorial
to take
Nets.
somebody out.
Oh, for sure.
All right. Anyway, next team. Factory. Monster Energy. Kawasaki.
Oh, I was about to say, which one are you going, Monster?
I know, right? We got two.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with Ando here. Best finish last year, third. Coming off steel frame.
Which once
gang.
again, man, I'm completely forgetting. Maybe because it's been so long. I can't remember him getting third. Like
I
at
don't
all.
either.
I just don't.
I don't remember
Dude,
what
there were a
round it
couple
was.
races in Atlanta and shit. He was the fastest guy.
Yeah.
I remember that, but I don't remember a third. Like it just maybe it's been so long, but I just don't remember that.
So biggest thing on this is he's coming off steel frame gang to aluminum frame.
This is
He
a very
looks
interesting signing. to me.
So comfortable on that Cowie.
You think he?
I think that
You think
bike.
so?
I think that bike fits his style so much better.
I didn't think he looked as loose. And
I
as
haven't been as
comfortable,
impressed with him on
I'm
this, but
super impressed with the fact. I mean, dude, it just fits his body type. It fits the way he positions his legs on the bike, the way he kind of rolls.
He does look a less aggro, I guess, on it.
Yeah,
A lot smoother.
You got to remember that Husky is
Yeah.
shorter than the Cowie, and the way he positions his legs, the way he pushes back on the bike. There was a lot of times where he would get way too far back on the subframe. That Cowie, he doesn't have that problem, and I don't know if that's going to translate to be doing better. I mean, he won a championship, so he can't do better. But
he ain't winning another title.
no, that's not what I'm saying. But I
He
think
1 year deal,
I thought it was 2.
I think it's two.
is it?
I think it's two, and then I think he's out. Yeah,
And I think it's monster money.
yeah.
The rest of the money is wrapped up in air fork.
I think
Yeah.
that he will.
And he's done after 2 years, FYI.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
He's retiring.
Once again, he doesn't have to either. He's got other stuff he's got going on.
Yeah, he's
in
got
his life.
playing money.
I think that he, obviously not a championship. Take that down a notch, and at Husky from the championship of him just being like, hey, winning heat races, top 3, top 5. I think that's where he's at on this Cowie.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be the best guy on the Cowie team.
Bold prediction.
Yeah, I think he makes it through the season where the other guy probably won't.
That's my point. I think that he's just going to be really, really good. I think it's going to take a few races to see it because, once again, dialing in the bike for race situations. But just something when I watch him, I'm like, man, it just.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch some videos.
Yeah, I am
with a
too,
different
because I haven't been
perspective.
impressed with
Just
anything I've
watch-
seen so far.
Yeah,
The only thing, just watch even his foot positioning. Just watch it. Just if you watch anything, just watch his foot
Is
position.
he waiting that outside peg?
He's on the balls of his feet a lot more too. Where he positions his peg under brake. Just watch his foot positioning. Don't watch the rest of his body.
I'll check it out.
Just watch his foot positioning.
I'll check it out. Okay, next up on this team.
Hang on.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Another insightful view here.
No. We didn't even talk about the biggest thing about Jason Anderson.
Okay.
Team Pride, bro.
No one cares.
Tom Durnett.
Go listen to the
You guys
Gypsy
ain't
Tales.
down with Team Pride?
I'm not down with Team
no.
Fried, but I like Anderson's. I like the videos, but I'm not a big like Team Fried.
You know he
No.
edits those himself?
Who?
Ando?
Ando.
I thought
No, he
Durnett did.
doesn't.
Thought
No, he does.
Tommy Tenders does it.
No, some of the ones on Jason's page, Jason does himself.
Tommy did not say that on the Gypsy thing.
Tom put something on his page like, fun fact, Jason edits a lot of his own videos.
I mean, I give him credit if he does. That's awesome. That's fucking sweet. But Tommy didn't say that
have
on
you
the
heard?
Gypsy thing.
Jason's a pretty creative dude. Have you ever heard? You're not into EDM music, but he made like an EDM mix and it's pretty fucking good.
He's a very extroverted guy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
Does not give a
Monster
shit.
Kawasaki, or mainly the Monster Energy part, they're down with Team Fried. So
Yeah.
I think that's a big positive.
Yeah.
Because I thought when he signed with that team, it was going to be kind of a, the corporate atmosphere thing. They're not going to be down with Team Pride. But since Monster's footing a little bit of his contract, I think that's a good thing for him.
The only
Yeah.
thing I will say is, even though Jason is not really that guy, like he likes to have fun, he's not really a party guy per se. I hope he doesn't get wrapped up in all that bullshit.
Nah, he's fine.
If
If he was going to get wrapped up in it, he'd
the
be wrapped up
Monster
in it
Energy,
already.
money laundering, Illuminati shit.
cocaine.
Jesus Christ. Just hit every fucking code word there.
Yeah.
Sick.
So let's
We're
go
off
on to the
YouTube now,
Yeah, let's
folks.
go. Let's go on
Thanks.
to the
It's
other.
been a good run.
Let's go on to the other
Well,
guy.
I'm not allowed to say the I word.
Illuminati.
No. All right, next guy.
I was going to drop that word on somebody else in this.
Adam C. in Cirillo.
So is your boy
AC9.
going to make it through a Supercross season this year?
Yeah.
Hey,
I plead the fifth.
I think there's too much pressure on the kid.
No way. The pressure I'm not worried about. The thing is did they fix his arms?
He says he did.
If they fixed his arm pump issue, we're good. If
I
they
still
didn't
don't think
fix
you're
his
good.
arm pump issue, we're not good. We're so bad.
Yeah,
But
we're just
he
going to randomly
says
tuck the
it's
front end.
fixed.
We're
He's
gonna-
got this. It stems back to mini bikes. He's got this thing about him where he constantly has to impress someone. He's got to live up to this standard all the way through, and that's so much pressure that he puts on himself.
Maybe.
And he's had that since he's 16. So or 15 or 14 even, or fucking 12. Like,
Cobra
he's
days.
had this expectation on him his whole fucking life, and he was matured with that expectation. It's not going away. And if he's in second, third, fourth place, he's like, fuck, like, I suck. And he might say it off the track, like, oh, I'm learning from my mistakes, like, blah, 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 blah. I'm a new guy. I'm going to learn from all this. When he's got his helmet on, let's face it, it's not changing. Look at Justin Barcia. Is he different when the helmet's on? No.
How many fastest qualifiers does he get? 17?
Are you
A lot.
No, because he didn't even get his rate.
He did the first 8 races
It was
last
like
year.
5.
No, that was the first year. That was
Yeah,
the first
that
year.
wasn't
he did
last year,
That
whatever.
wasn't last year. I will say
Does
though,
he get half of them?
no, I'll give you
I
one
don't think
better.
he's fastest qualifier in half the
No,
races
no,
this year.
I think he wins a race this year.
Whoa!
I think he wins a race this year.
Woo, we're coming around, baby.
No, we're not coming around because
fuck.
just because he wins a race
There we
doesn't mean
go.
shit. Dude, okay.
Yeah, Marv won a race last year.
Let's take away the fact that you're an AC fan.
Yep.
Take away that and just be completely neutral.
I might have an AC shirt already.
There is nothing that can say otherwise of anything negative you say about Adam Cincerello that you can go, well, I can dispute that. Like,
No,
be
I
honest.
can't.
So even you being like with Zacho, it was different. Zacho won titles.
Yes.
He proved otherwise.
Yes.
AC, I don't care what anybody says. I will go head to head with anybody in the industry that says this. Even Steve Mathis, who thinks he's a fucking title contender. There's nothing AC has done in his 450 career that you can say
He's a title contender.
he's a title contender or even multiple wins.
He's got speed,
But that
can't
doesn't
work with it.
and that doesn't matter anymore though because he cannot translate that speed into consistency. He did it for one half of an outdoor, well, more than half, a 9-round series outdoors during COVID.
Oh, God, now we're really off YouTube. Fuck.
But what I'm saying is that there's nothing he can do that can prove otherwise. I think that he can. I think his arm or shoulder, whatever, is fixed.
It's not shoulder. It's his.
I thought it was a
he
nerve
arm
issue.
show-
I thought it was a nerve-
elbow.
It was a nerve in his elbow.
What, didn't he have a shoulder issue though?
No. It was a nerve in his elbow. He
always
getting
did
fixed.
growing up.
He couldn't hold on with
Okay.
his throttle.
Either
Well, I knew
way,
that.
yes, I think he squeaks a win out. Yes, he's going to be fast, and yes, he's going to crash.
Well, look,
But
we're
he's not
making
gonna make it through the whole
strides with
season.
you boys because at least you're giving him credit to get a win.
I said he was going to get a win last year.
I don't remember that.
You can
I
go
didn't
back,
go
and
back
watch.
and listen to
Yeah,
that
you can
show,
go back and
though,
watch.
so-
I even said he would get a win last year. I just said he wouldn't make it through the whole season.
Okay, all right.
There's nothing.
Does he
that-
make it through the whole year this year?
No, because he hasn't
God,
done
I
it
just
yet.
can't wait for the season to
He
start.
He hasn't done it yet. Like I'm not one of those. I'm one of. I don't want to be one of those people that harps on history because obviously motocross is so fluid. But this is 2 years now that we've seen of the same thing, and it's literally the same thing.
Look, we are going to have some good finishes this year.
No.
We are going to get at least one win. And
Okay, one win,
We have got
fine.
our arms fixed, so we're good.
Yeah, no.
We're good.
Okay, see, this isn't him not being neutral anymore. This is
No,
him
he's
just
still
being-
biased.
Look, I got to be not neutral on a couple of things.
Did you
okay?
change the wiener that hangs in front of your face from a 16 to a 9?
Look, we retired one number, and now we have another
Is
number.
AC your only?
So who? Hang on a second. Since you got rid of, or actually Zach got rid of you.
We retired on top.
Whatever. No, you didn't on top. You weren't on top. You
Well,
didn't
since
finish.
there is no
Look,
more,
we won a 450 title
Doesn't
and
matter.
said, "Fuck it, we're
You
done."
wanna- yeah,
Who's
whatever.
your replacement for Zacho? That's what I want to know.
It's AC.
I guess it's AC for right now.
Because it's AC and Jet. Those are
Oh,
his
you're
boys.
one guy.
Oh, Jet is really my guy.
Yeah, he's a
You got
Jet
one
nut
guy.
hugger.
I got
That
a lot of
fucking-
Jet merch. I brought a championship tee.
Did you too?
Yep.
Which one did you get?
The gold one with the ring on it.
Yeah, I got
got-
that shirt
you
too.
guys-
And
Hell
I
yeah.
bought the one at Red Boat in the tent.
You guys
I
want-
got two of those. The ones they signed.
No.
Oh, mine are signed.
Well, that thing was fucking expensive.
The $50 one.
Yep.
Yeah, see, I got two of those because I got one to go in a case and I got one to wear. They're signed. When they were signed, I was like, well, fuck, I better have two.
Hey, we got the goggles too.
Oh, dude, I got 3 sets.
Do you guys want to kiss? You want to get this over and done with?
No,
I
no,
like
no.
the
This
fucking
shit's
kid.
terrible.
And he's good for this sport.
No, he is.
Have you
And
watched
Lucas
his- have you
Myrtle's
watched
got
his
a fucking gold mine.
Have you watched his Red Bull shit?
No.
We're way off on tangent right now, but
All right, anyways, back to
this
AC.
Red Bull series is fucking awesome. right
Anyways,
now.
back to
Joe
AC.
Shimoda. I wish they put more of him in there.
Anyway, yeah, no, AC gets a win. We make it through the season, and we are gonna prove all of you fucking haters wrong.
Okay,
Okay,
I've heard that for 2
please.
years, but
Yeah.
all right. Anyways.
You want to?
What would convince you?
Are we up in
Are we
bets?
talking top 5 in the points? Are we talking top 3 in the
To
points?
convince me of what?
that we have turned a corner.
Are we doing Aftermath Sportsbook here? Do you want to
No,
the bet a
we
little
already
bit?
got
turned a
we already
corner.
got one bet. We're good.
It's a high standard to live up to because of how much hype and all this talk around AC is.
So again, what would prove to you that we have turned a corner? Do we
Winning
gotta-
a fucking championship.
That's it?
Winning a title.
God,
you
the
have to
fucking-
Finishing a 450 season.
The standards are really fucking high.
Every
They
single
are high.
I need to
Fucking
see
people
him.
think he's going to win a title.
I need to
Jesus
see him
Christ, you act
finish
like-
every race.
You act like all these other fucking losers of fucking
Losers?
Oh man, we gotta fucking. If you don't win a title, you fucking suck. Okay. If we could just get a top 5 in the points and go through every fucking race in the series,
But AC
we
isn't
would be
paid
okay.
to get top 5s. AC is
I
paid to
don't-
win.
Okay, great. So he gets a few wins. He gets top 5 in the series, and we
few.
fucking move on.
Phew. No, it's not that
Because
simple
we
with AC.
completed the whole series, and
It's not-
then we start focusing on let's win a title.
It's
Right
not
now,
the same thing.
we need to just go ahead and finish the series,
It's
get a
not
couple
that way
wins
with AC, though.
notched under our belt.
It's not that way with AC, though. It's either win or bust with him. Like everybody, it's the same way with Jet.
We're set up to fail at this point with those stipulations.
Well,
okay?
he already has failed in the 450, so
Unbelievable.
I'm speaking history.
Your
They're not my facts. They're not my opinions. They're
God.
just
This is
it's history.
unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
Am I wrong?
You're
Cole?
setting
The
us
man
up to
hasn't
fail.
Am I
even.
wrong?
You're setting us up
AC
to
hasn't
fail.
finished his 450 season yet.
So am I wrong? So am I wrong with what I'm
You're
saying?
setting us up to fail.
I'm Team Justin here.
You're saying you guys are setting us up to
You're
fail.
blinded by his green nuts
He's
hanging
not
right in your face.
He might want to go to a dermatologist to get
Yeah.
that checked out.
Look,
You got those Kawasaki Grinch green ass nuts hanging right in your
we're
face.
gonna do the same thing that Zacho did. We're gonna
Yeah, like
win
a TikTok
We're gonna
clock.
win a 450 title, and we're gonna say
Nope.
fuck you to all you
No.
haters, and then we're gonna retire on top.
So
That's
is
all
like
there's to it.
so are like 7 guys gonna just like randomly retire next
No,
year?
we are just going to win a 450 title
Yeah,
and then
okay.
say fuck you to all the haters, suck my nuts.
Sure.
And
I think Cooper Webb's gonna
and
say
then we
otherwise.
are going to retire on top.
Just wait on this. He said AC's gonna win the title.
Yeah.
A
okay.
title at some
We'll
point.
get back to this point when we're picking title predictions.
We're actually gonna get back to this point. Yeah, I was about
I
to
didn't say he
say
was going to win this title. I said we are going to win a 450
Give him
title
to
at some
get-
point. Say suck
Hey,
our
give him
fucking
2
nuts,
rounds
and then
after
we are going to
Justin Hill
retire.
makes 2 mains, and then we'll go back to this
And when I get my
conversation.
$20.
Yeah.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
Anyway, so Cowie's over with. Who's our next?
And then
team?
All
AC's out and they sign Hill.
And then
All
there's
right.
got to be a Jason Anderson fan. That'd be great.
Okay, next team up.
I have a Team Pride sweatshirt.
Good for you. I got a Scott Meshy Scott Meshy T-shirt. What do you want?
You got a Scott Meshy t-shirt?
Yeah, dude.
What the
Duh.
fuck?
I got it. Like,
Yo,
that,
next
bro.
time you talk to Kev, tell his bitch ass to give me a damn hat. He told me he was going to give me one after Bucks, and he never did.
See, so I would give you mine. However,
No, I want the burgundy one.
However, my chick does not like how the Dirt Bike Depot hats like point at the front, so she took all my Dirt Bike Depot hats and hid them, and so now I'm wearing Kevin's hat.
Is it the burgundy one?
No,
Oh, I want the maroon one.
What? You got told what you can't wear?
I didn't get told. She hid my hats. All right.
What?
Just like hiding them like
she
Easter
does not
eggs?
like the point, like the way it comes to a point on the front. She does not like that.
All right, what's the next team?
I love them.
You know, I hate to tell her this, but you're just ugly no matter what you wear.
I'm gonna punch you right in the nuts.
Oh, God damn.
Kick you so hard that Emily's gonna be like, "What the fuck did you do to him? You made him sterile."
Oh, she thought that when I came home with a broken nose from Silver Lake.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, all right, next team up. Monster Energy, Star Racing, Yamaha.
Oh, my God. Is this team stacked?
So, wait,
Hang
hold
on,
on.
hang on,
Hold
hang
on.
on, hang
Here's
on.
Justin's boner. Justin's boner just hit the bottom of the table.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
All right, Justin.
No.
Start. What? That camera takes a second to get going like that? For real?
360 action, bro.
All right, so tell me about Dylan Ferrandis and how he's never won a fucking Supercross race,
Hey,
but he's
put-
going to win the title. Go
Put
for
that
it.
in your waistband real quick.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, hurry up. Tell
I'm
me
sorry.
how
Yeah.
Dylan's going to win the title and he hasn't won a fucking race
Yeah,
yet. Go
put
ahead.
that in your
won one?
waistband.
Has AC won one? Oh, no. guess
I didn't
not.
say he was going to win the title this year, so go ahead. Come on.
Hey, I'm sorry, man.
Sound
did
like
I
an idiot.
did I not say he was going to win the outdoor title? Did he not win the outdoor title? Was I right about that? God, I love being right about French people.
Oh, my God.
Bitch, you both know that I am right, and you can't dispute it.
He's not winning the title.
What tells you otherwise?
Dylan Ferrandis
He hasn't
isn't
won a
winning the
fucking
Supercross
race yet.
championship.
It was his rookie year.
So?
And he won an outdoor title his rookie year. Who was the last
Great.
person to do that? Ryan fucking Dungey.
Good for him.
Supercross doesn't come as naturally to Dylan
Supercross is
Ferrandis.
not the same
I'm sorry,
as
is he
fucking
not a
outdoors.
two-time 250 West Supercross champion?
It took
Great.
him 4 years before he won the title.
And he had never ridden
Great.
Supercross a day in his
I
life
don't give
before
a
he
shit.
came
He's
over
not
here.
winning this title. You're fucking high.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
He's going to be very
Let-
good.
hold on.
But he's going to be very good, but I'm...
Did you guys
Nobody
not?
is as high as
Can he
him.
get a fucking... Can he get...
Did you guys not sit up here when we had our preview show and I told you how good Dylan was going to be and y'all looked at me like, oh my God, there's no fucking way.
Here we go.
AC beat him, this and that. I'm not speaking opinion. It's fact.
Those
it's
blue
literal
nuts
fact.
on your chin are
I'm
fucking
speaking
crazy.
It's literal fact.
fact.
You guys were like, oh my God, Dylan's not going to do shit. He can't stay off the ground, this and that. And then the man went out and won a fucking 450 title. his rookie
He,
year.
I don't outdoors, he could get a shitty start and make his way through the field. He ain't doing that in a Supercross.
He was a rookie in Supercross, and the thing is, too, did you guys not remember
Rookie, veteran, everything. He still sucked dick at starts on a 250.
I don't give two fucks.
and he
He's
still
not
won
winning
two
this title.
He still won 2 titles, even with
This
shitty
isn't
starts.
the 250 class.
They said that about him riding outdoors. This isn't the 250 class, and guess what? He won a title before Adam Cianciarulo.
I don't care. 30 plus 2 outdoors is way different than 20 plus
Is
1
his
indoors.
okay? So I got 3 questions to ask you. Is his speed not good enough?
His speed is good enough to
Okay,
win a race.
that's one.
I don't think he
That's
can
one.
corner that bike as good in the
That's
indoors.
one. That's one. Okay. Is his cardio not good enough?
No one. You don't have to have that great a cardio to do Supercross.
Okay, go tell that to Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, and Ken Roxon.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that's
that
2
was
boxes.
that was invalid. I'll give
That's
you
2
that.
boxes. Third, is
Not
his
valid.
racecraft?
Not a valid argument.
Is his race? Yes, it is. Is his racecraft not good enough?
His racecraft is also good.
3 boxes just checked. The only thing he's
Okay,
got to
how
do
about
is
start-
So wait,
about
hold on,
start-
hold on,
start in
hold
the
on,
top
hold on.
5.
Stop. So you want to go with those 3 boxes? So does AC not check those 3 boxes?
He doesn't check. His racecraft is absolutely dog shit.
Oh God, get the fuck out of here!
It's absolutely
Jesus
dog
Christ.
shit.
The fucking blue nuts on your chin
It's
are worse than
dog
the green
shit.
nuts hanging from my chin.
You know what
so
the difference
fuck
between
off.
our
No
two
way.
the our 2 people is? My guy has a #1 title. Yours doesn't.
You're fucking.
Actually,
Jesus
mine has
Christ.
4 #1 titles. Your guys has 1.
you-
Your
Those
AC
blue-
guy, you're.
Those blue nuts are hitting his regular blue
Hey,
nuts.
you want to know what color my nuts
I
are?
like how when I have somebody that I root for, I'm crazy, but everybody
Hey.
else, when they have someone, it's fine.
You are. He look.
He
dude,
won a title.
My nuts
he is-
are orange.
Let's just. Oh Jesus Christ. Let's just. He is going to be very good this year. He's
Agreed.
going to come in with a lot of confidence.
Agreed.
He had a good year last year on the box. Best finish was a 2nd. He was 7th in points.
That was in, like, the second round, though. He didn't get on the-
like he says, his starts indoors are dog shit. And there is not enough time, and he is not fast enough at Supercross to come through the fucking pack like he can outdoors.
Is he moving Justin Barsha out of the way?
Yes.
He's moving Justin
Is Justin
Barsha.
Barsha moving him back out of the way?
I don't think when Dylan gets around Justin that Justin is going to be able to come back on him because of
He's
his
not
racecraft.
coming through this pack like he does outdoors. It's
What
not
tell-
fucking
what tells you
happening.
Till the
guys-
end of the season.
I'm sorry, at the end of the year, were his starts terrible? No, they weren't. At outdoors, his starts were not terrible.
I don't care. Outdoors is not indoors.
So I can't say. So you
Outdoors
can,
is not indoors.
it doesn't matter.
I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to win races. He's not
Okay.
winning the title. No fucking way.
well, you guys said that for outdoors and you were wrong.
you
so-
think he's going to outduel Cooper Webb for a fucking title?
Yes, because all the stuff that Coop has.
You are fucking high right now. You are so high. No way is he outdueling Cooper Webb.
Okay.
And I don't even like Webb that much.
Okay.
Webb will not let him beat him indoors. No way.
fucking laugh.
No fucking way.
All right. Okay.
Dude,
Fine.
but keep going.
Fine.
Keep going.
No, it's
This is gonna
fine.
be
You
funny
guys
for me to watch
doubted
next
him in
year.
outdoors, and look what happened. You were both wrong. Actually, pretty much everybody was wrong because I was the only person after Thunder Valley saying Dylan Ferrandis is going to win this title, and he won the title.
You were correct on that.
I was correct.
I will give you that
So
one.
all the same arguments you guys are making right now for Supercross, you're saying the exact same thing, except the difference is you saying he's not as good as Supercross is absolute bullshit.
Do you want to put a dollar bet?
No, I
Because
don't wanna
know
bet.
you don't like
I
to
don't-
bet.
I don't
so
wanna
I'll just
bet.
make it because, like,
No,
really,
don't make a bet with him. He won't pay
because
you.
realistically, I would put $1,000 that he doesn't win this title.
Not even
but
free
I'll just bet.
breadsticks.
But I know you don't bet that much, so I'll put $1 bet with you that he
No,
does
put a
not
box
win
of
this title.
breadsticks on that shit.
Box of breadsticks.
It's fine. It's fine. You guys can doubt him. That's it. But the difference
I'll
is
bet you a Scott Meshy T-shirt.
Okay.
He does not fucking win.
That's
Win the
fine.
title?
Yeah, he's
All
not
right,
going to
somebody
win the title.
watching this, lock it in.
That's fine.
He's not
Lock
going to win
in.
the title.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
need
need-
somebody to keep
Hey,
track
Bones,
of these bets.
Bones, can you lock in all the bets in the show?
Yeah, Bob Bones there, homie. I'm hooking him up with a T-shirt, by the way.
You see that fucking jersey you got from Barsha?
Fuck yeah, sick shit,
was
dude.
cool.
He deserves it. It's fine, dude. No problem. But anyway, yeah, dude. No fucking way he wins this title.
Okay.
Is,
Tell
it
us
gonna,
that Cooper Webb would never win a title, but that was
is it going to be close? Yes. Do I think he's going to be in the fight all year? Yes. Do I think
I
he's going to
think
win
dumb
races?
shit happens with a
yes.
bad start. There's
but
a
I
pile
think
up
yes,
and he's in it.
He's going to have bad start. He's going to be plagued by some Tomac syndrome of there's going to be weird shit that's just going to
And
happen.
what was
to
the
him
dumb shit
indoors.
that happened last year? He was clearly the fastest guy. Something
Then he
happened.
wads it like a couple times.
No.
or
Something happened, and then he jumped in front of Webb and was like a lapper, but Webb never passed him.
But fucking went past him and then was ahead of him. Yeah, but like, yeah, dude, I'm not arguing that
Something
he's
weird
gonna be
like that will
really
happen
fucking
and
good.
keep him out of the title.
Now, if he has a really good year and he wins some races and he's in this title hunt, do I think next year? Because we're getting way ahead. Outdoors, yeah, I think he wins that title again too. But then going into 23, do I think, yeah, as long as he has a really good Supercross series,
Yeah, I
stays
could see
off
it.
the ground, everything, then do I say he's a contender next year and I'm not having this conversation with you? Yes, but
Yeah.
right now,
What do you guys
no
gonna-
fucking way.
What will you guys do if he wins the Supercross title this year?
I mean, I would be
I will
blown
take
away.
my hat off and I will let you brag. All
There
you
are
want.
too many. There's too many other dudes at this point that are too
And
well
all those
established
other
in
dudes-
Supercross.
all those other
for
dudes,
him to beat.
all those other dudes have not won a championship yet, other than three guys. And a lot of those dudes that we talked about the inconsistency that Dylan have. They have the same issue, but yet he has three of the boxes checked.
So you're just saying a 450 outdoor championship trumps all these guys that all have the same 250 titles that he has.
No, the 450 championship has nothing to do with it. That's part of it.
Then why you
It's
keep
because
bringing
he
the
has
championship thing up?
because of the fact that he just won a championship. He proved to everybody that did not even put him in the list of guys that could win a title. He went out there and literally dog slapped the shit out of everybody, proved them wrong. Everybody was like on AC's nuts or on Chase's nuts or all this, a confidence thing. Dylan has got to be one of the, unless it's absolute bullshit, he's the most humble motocross racer I've ever seen in my entire life. The fact that he said, I'll be lucky to win another outdoor title. I'd really like to.
I would agree with that.
So the fact
I
that
would
his
agree with that.
mindset is like that after his rookie season, he's not getting wrapped up in all this hype. I think that what Cooper has mentally, Dylan has all over these other guys. Because we talking about Kenny, fragile. Eli, we have no idea. Chase Sexton still, once again, cannot stop making stupid mistakes. Same thing about AC. Ando has a championship, but we don't think he's ever going to win that again. So then what? You're talking about Aaron Plessinger and Marvin Muscan? That's not a knock on all these other guys, but Dylan right now has something that I don't think any of those other dudes have, and that is the determination and drive to keep being better at his late at this stage of his career. You guys forget, he's 27 years old. He's been racing since he was 16, but yet he still wants to keep winning.
He is one of the most determined dudes and most dialed in dudes I have seen in a long time. But in Supercross, at this point, do not see him out dueling Cooper Webb.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't.
That's fine.
I don't.
Okay, that's fine.
Webb is now the wily veteran defending champ.
But I think everything Cooper Webb can do on a track, Dylan has proved that he can do the exact same thing. Because that's the difference between Coop or Dylan and everybody else.
I think
do you
it's gonna
think
be-
Cooper?
Except he can't turn that bike at the bottom of the corner like a fucking KTM.
They're on a new bike though.
Doesn't
Do
matter.
you think
It's
Cooper
there's no
Webb-
way that
a
thing's
perfect
turning
scenario
low like
for
a
me?
KTM.
Is Cooper Webb versus Dylan Ferrandis for the title. I don't think Cooper Webb can get in his head.
That's what I was just about to say.
The winner in that situation is us as
It
fans.
is.
Because
But that is
it's
what
gonna
it
all
comes
the
down
fans
to.
win.
Dylan will not let. Yes, you're right. Cooper Webb mentally has a notch over these guys. There's just something about what he does. Dylan does not get rattled by fucking anyone.
Nope.
At all. Cooper Webb
That's
rattles
why
other
I think
dudes.
it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
But that's my biggest thing. Why I think Dylan will, and we're already getting ahead of ourselves with our picks. Why I think Dylan will win the title. Because Cooper Webb will not get in his head like he did to Kenny and Eli.
Yeah.
Dylan will just be like, "You're just another dude."
Yeah.
I race Jeffrey Hurlings. You're not getting in my head.
Yeah, that's another story.
I'm sorry. He's a world champion. Don't talk about him.
Timmy G has more titles.
Jeffrey Hurlings also didn't race those seasons.
Timmy G has more titles.
Who just beat him?
You know what? We're not going to get into this.
Yeah, that's
we
what
don't
I thought
have
because
that-
I win. I
No,
win.
no.
Febro
you don't.
was
I do.
wiping Timmy G's dick this year.
I do. I win. He just won a title and he missed around and he's hurt. He won.
We're just not
Andy
going to get
DNF
into
like
that.
4 motos.
We're just
He
not
didn't even
gonna
show
get
up to
into
2
that.
races.
Yeah.
We're just not.
Andy
gonna
and
get into
Aftermoto.
And DNF to Moto.
We're
And he
not-
rode with a broken
we're
shoulder blade.
not
Still won a
gonna
race.
get into
That's
this.
fine. You know he's world champ. That's
All
all that
right.
matters.
that. Next up,
So
on
that
this-
we're done with Dylan?
we're done with
Might as
Dylan for
well.
right
I
now.
mean,
we have nothing more than for me and Justin to keep telling each other we're stupid at this point. So next up on our list. What?
Are we adding Craig to this list?
No. Because it's not for sure that he's
I
riding
don't know
the
what he's
450.
doing 450 indoors so far. So we know he's signed for
That's
250
just
indoors.
real
but-
interesting
and
for
it-
you people out there. Just keep an eye on Craig jumping in and
for
out.
250
Yeah.
East.
I think it
yeah.
all depends on where he's at on the 250 in points.
Yeah, because he's definitely going to do the 250 West, but
Yeah.
who knows if he's going to be allowed to do East and where he's at. Anyway, so the other 450 guy for sure on the Star Yamaha team, Eli Tomac. Am I the only one that thinks this is going to be a really good year
I
for
think
him?
it's going to be really. I think he's
I think it's
rejuvenating.
going to be good. I think it's going to surprise people.
I agree with Coach on a lot of the stuff that he says, but I completely disagree with what he said.
Does he get more wins this year than he had last year?
Yes.
He had 3 last year.
I think he gets 4.
Okay.
Whether that's a big deal, one
Fair.
more, okay, fine.
I
But
think he's clearly comfortable on that bike. I was watching a Deegan video,
Okay.
Little Danger Boy video. Little Danger Boy was off for the day. That's the only reason I watched because it said Danger Boy is not riding today.
okay.
And it had Dylan and Eli. They were all in Florida. But I've seen clips of Deegan. We all follow him on social media. Hitting the dragon back
Yeah.
off, dragon back table to table. Tomac's in Florida, hasn't ridden there all year. Like first couple laps, he goes up the dragon's back,
Doubled off the top.
sets in to the last one, over the table, down and quads into the corner.
So he was kind of like
Did you
threeing
see the
over.
video?
I didn't watch the video. I just seen like mini clips.
Like, you know what
Yeah.
dragging back I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That tells me he's comfortable.
I think he's going to be rejuvenated.
Just one little thing like that.
I think he's going to be rejuvenated. I think that he making this decision to go to Yamaha and making the decision to go to Florida, something he never conceded to Cowie. I'm going to stay here, go to California
He's
every now
living
and
in Florida?
He said he's going to be living in Florida. I don't know about Supercross, but outdoors, I know he's going there full time.
I was gonna say he's gonna be there for a while. He said.
So the fact
Really?
that he's doing
They're
that
probably all going to Cali soon. I would assume.
Yeah.
but
some last minute.
yeah,
type-
but
That tells me there's some fire there still.
I think he still wants to win championships.
He was leaving for Florida not too long after the announcement came out that he was riding for Star.
I think he wants to win championships.
I think so,
he wants
too.
to go out on a high. I really do.
So according to what I know, he's got a 1 year with a second year option. And I think if he either does super duper well this
Is it
year
a
and is in the
title for
hunt,
the option?
yeah, or wins the title, I think he options the second year, no problem.
Yep, I completely.
Because I think he wants to go out with a couple more titles. I think.
Dude, I'm scared for everybody. Him and Dylan outdoors.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think
Jesus
after
Christ.
this, he's done. After even if he options the second year, I think after that he's done. But
I
Yeah.
just think it's going to be dangerous for the fact that he's going to be able to do whatever the hell he wants to that bike. He's got
Yeah.
the chassis guy that he likes, the KYB guy.
Yeah, 'cause they'll listen to him and
what's his
change
name?
things.
I can't think of
It's
his
a dude
name.
from Geico. From his
Yeah,
Geico.
yeah.
I don't know.
I
But
can't
that
think of his
Geico
name.
Honda he was
Yeah,
on, holy
yeah.
shit. But, he's even said it in an interview, I think Eli did. There were things that he wanted to do that corporate Cowie wouldn't let him
They
do.
could not.
They
Yep.
did it to
And
James. They did it to Ricky.
They did it to everyone.
RV.
And we've also heard time and time over again that Bobby Hute will do whatever the hell you need to do to that bike.
Yeah.
And cover the logos up or whatever.
Yep.
I mean, there's probably some real legal shit going
Yeah.
on with those bikes, but it's making them win. I mean,
Yeah.
our AMA is so loose that it's not going to stop anything.
I think that you see a couple times in 2022, 2017,
smacks the fuck out of
2017 Eli Supercross.
Oh, he's gonna.
And
peck,
what I- and-
he's gonna pecker slap some dudes this year.
And what I
I
refer
agree.
to, the biggest race, is that fucking, what was it? The Utah? No. What was the
That
one
year he was just bombing
where
the
he
whoop.
was dead last, though, and Dungey ripped the Holy, and like Eli literally came from dead?
Seven-
He was passing everybody in the whoops.
Was that Utah? Colorado? What was that? It was
I don't
a,
remember.
I think.
yeah.
I just remember it was a double and then whoops, and he passed everybody right
I
there.
think that we are going to see that a few times this year. Not the whole season, no, because that's very, very hard to replicate, especially this late in
Yeah.
his career.
I think we see a what the fuck ride from him.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Like, you're just going to be like, you're going to look up, he's going to be in 10th, the next lap, he's going to be in 2nd.
Here's where we will know if everyone's in trouble. If those first 3 rounds go really fucking well for him, I mean, like we're talking battling for podiums, all 3 of the first rounds, those boys are in trouble. Because
Kind of
he-
like 2020 when he won the title.
yeah, because if he can get those first few rounds in order, they're fucked. Because that's usually where he struggles. Let's face it.
His
First round last
arms
year,
pump up.
Houston won, was not great. Houston 2, I think he was 2nd or 3rd. I don't remember exactly because I just have the wins put down here.
Outdoor season, he went 10-9 or something. 'Cause
Yeah.
Matt and I were just arguing
Yeah,
about it.
but
They're so fucked.
if
for
you
him.
get the first 3 to 5 rounds, he figures it out and he's on the box every time or battling for the box every time, they're in trouble.
That's why I personally think it's going to be between him, Coop, and Dylan for the title.
But again, none of us have seen because there hasn't been a lot of even Insta bangers this offseason, so we haven't really seen him on that bike that much. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to go watch the Deegan. I have been watching more of Deegan's videos now that he's on a big bike. It's
And
more
it goes-
interesting
and the
to
Go
me.
Farm.
Yeah, it's more
It is kinda
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, but the because before it was like
And that's
whatever.
brilliant marketing on Brian's side because,
Huge.
like he said, he's bringing in all these new characters. And
Yep. So-
we didn't want to watch the other bullshit, but we're watching now.
I'll watch
Yep.
a
Whole
video
nother
if-
new
I'll
audience.
watch a video
Yeah.
if you tell me Levi Kitchen's going to be in there, or Nick Romano or whoever.
Yeah,
I don't
They
worry.
are. They're,
It
they're in
was
there all the time.
last
Yeah.
week.
Like I said, it's-
I thought it was interesting. Ferrandis, Tomac, they're pounding motos on the Supercross track.
Yeah.
Craig, Kitchen, and LeBlanc were pounding outdoor motos.
Wasn't Cooper in there too?
there's been a lot
Maybe,
of different
I don't know.
dudes.
They do quite.
I wouldn't say the
quite a
star
bit more
guys
outdoors
rotate
than I
in.
thought.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely more interesting. But anyway, back
Yeah.
to the Tomac thing. I agree with you. I think he gets somewhere between like 3 to 6 wins this year. I don't think he gets less wins. I think he gets the same or more. So I could definitely see him getting 3 to 6 wins. And like I said, I think he's right there at the end. And if he figures out the first 5 rounds and doesn't have that lull to start the season, they're in fucking trouble.
Yep.
And his starts, I hope, are going to be better.
Yeah, I hope so, too.
Cable clutch, I heard, is
Yep.
a more positive feeling for him.
Yeah.
And we know that motor is a fucking torque monster.
Yep.
If they can get it in the right spots.
Yes. So
All right, so 3 to 6 wins and a title contender. Awesome.
for sure.
Okay,
Agreed.
moving on to our next team. HRC Honda. We will start with.
Depending on who you start with, this camera's going on.
We're gonna start with Chase Sexton.
Oh.
Oh boy.
All right. So starting with Chase Sexton here.
Sell out.
Do you think he wins a race?
No.
I'm not a fan of Chase Sexton.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm
I don't
not
like
a huge fan of him anymore either.
I don't like his cockiness, ego shit.
I have not listened to the Gypsy Tales podcast, so after I listen to that,
It might change my opinion.
It might change.
It might.
There's a cockiness about him that I'm not a huge fan of,
Entitlement.
That's where I'm at.
and he just has not. He's not been what I thought he would be when he moved to 450 class. So I don't know, man.
I don't know. Like I said, he needs to be humbled.
Yeah.
He comes in, I won a 250 title. Let's face it, the one he got was handed to him because
Yep.
everybody crashed out.
Yep.
Second one, he earned it.
Yep.
Didn't go down without a fight because McElrath gave him the business. And then he was crying like a little girl that they were playing games with him, all this kind
The
of stuff.
Holt Nichols situation.
What? Oh, yeah, he blamed that on Nichols,
Yeah.
whatever that deal was.
Yeah.
This is another thing, like the whole Honda intro, right? Jet Lawrence, Kenny, Hunter, they're out goon riding, having a good time. Was
Yeah.
Sexton anywhere to be found?
No.
Oh,
that
I'm
is-
too cool for that, bro. I ain't goon riding. I'm the
Yeah.
fucking man. You know what I mean? That's kind of the vibe I get.
Have you watched his Monster?
His
20
2-3
series?
video.
Yeah.
I've watched
Kind
a couple of
of
them.
like he
I've
needs to
watched
get
a
rid of this.
couple.
Like
I'm
I'm a Michael Jordan baller
Yeah.
thing. Like bleach blonde hair. I'm Illuminati a moto. Like
Jesus Christ. We're so not
when
going
you
on
bleach
YouTube here.
your hair, you're a sellout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at Star Yamaha.
Like I said, I'm not
Justin Cooper.
I'm not impressed with his attitude. I'm not impressed. Like, okay, he's fast. Let's face it.
No, I
He's-
respect the hell out of the
the
way he rides.
speed
I
is
love
there.
watching him ride.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know if he can keep it off the ground. I don't know if he can keep it off the ground to win a race. He got second twice last year, but again, got hurt at was it Houston? What was that Houston race?
It was Houston too.
Two, where he hits the ground there.
Well, he was going to win that race.
Well, yeah, he was
gonna win that
Let's
race.
face it. Even Tomac said, "Dude, him and AC were gone.
Yeah, they
like,
were gone.
fuck it.
They were
There
both
was
gonna-
no
yeah.
touching them.
Yep.
So obviously, like I said, he's got the speed, but man, he's got to learn to dial that shit back a little bit. Or
He needs a little bit of an attitude adjustment. I
Yeah.
think. But like you said, maybe we'll listen to this other pod with Gypsy, and it might change our opinion a little bit. But
here's the
from
thing.
what I see, I don't really.
Do you think he can learn it though? Because I mean, let's face it. I wasn't a fan of Hurling's back in the day because of his attitude. I feel like it
owns
was.
the fuck out of
I feel like it was similar, but now I like Hurling's better, and especially after that Bullet series that Red Bull did with him, I feel like he has matured over time and gotten to the point where he's like,
Sexton needs to get to that point.
Yeah.
The thing about
Sexton
Hurlings,
does.
though, is I think the only reason that he is like that, though, is because of he's gone through more adversity. I mean,
Yeah.
him and Kenny are pretty fucking close on adversity. Sexton hasn't had to deal with that yet, and
No,
I think that's
and
the only way. To
Sexton-
your point, we'll be able to learn his attitude.
And I think that might come this year because he's still at the point like I'm gonna come in the 450 class and be a big dog. He ain't.
I'm be
fucking
real
big dog.
honest with you, and we could talk about outdoors, but since that last race in Utah when he was leading,
Yeah.
and like faded like a cheap suit,
yeah,
that was bad. That was telling to me. And then he did it quite a few times in outdoors. Now he had good races. There was quite a few times though in outdoors. Let's be real. I don't know if he either pumped up or he just faded. He's got a cardio issue or he's got arm pump issues that he's got to figure out. Because I
Sounds
think
like coach somebody in the doctor's field has it figured out.
He's got an issue that he's got to figure out, and that's why I don't believe he wins a race this year.
Sounds like
Because I
he's
think we'll
juiced
see it
up.
again.
you think he podiums?
Yeah, I think he'll be on the podium quite a few times. I mean, he's just too fucking good
Let me ask
not
you
to
this:
be.
Does he make it through the whole year?
No.
without getting hurt.
No,
Okay.
I think he
Yeah,
gets
there'd
hurt
be
early.
flashes of brilliance. Like when he yard sailed himself, like I think he was going to win that race.
Yeah, I think
Unless
we
we've
all
seen
do.
some kind of
I mean, dude, what was
cardio
it?
failure,
Was it Utah? Like in practice when he fucking like tried to wheelie into the face of that first rhythm section and
just
dropped the
yard
front end and
sailed
just pitched him?
Yeah.
Like because he loaded the forks at the top of the face. Like that was dude. He had
What are you
already.
thinking?
I think he was already like second on the board, and there was no reason for him to go for a fast lap. And he's just like at the end when the track was
Yeah.
super sketch.
It's
Like,
that,
why?
And like the Stu podcast and stuff like that, and some of his comments on Stu really that makes a lot of sense on all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's out there trying to big dick everybody and prove something.
Bro, you ain't Stu.
Yeah.
Your technique's better than Stu's ever was, but you ain't Stu.
I think if we can mellow that out a
Well,
little
now
bit.
he's trying to big dick everybody. He's got
Yeah.
this 2-3 thing going on, like he's Michael Jordan. Like,
Swear to God, if he shows up to a Supercross though in a Michael Jordan jersey, I'm throwing shit.
the gear was sick.
The gear was sick.
The gear
but
was sick.
Dude,
The whole
just
Jordan
because you're
print
from
thing
Illinois,
It's cool, but tone it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Tone back to 2.
I don't think he wins. I think he gets some podiums, but to your question, I don't think he makes it through the year because he had too many stupid moments last year when you just like why, like what,
Which is
why?
really sad because again, he's another one like Faulkner that like I watched because I was
We
got really into moto at their last couple of years of amateurs, and like obviously he's pretty close to us.
Anybody
like,
in this area,
wise, so like so it was like oh cool, this kid's
Who's this?
Sexton.
Anybody in this area,
I
watch-
raced him in a Super Mini at Dutch.
Yeah.
Put 40 seconds on me, I think.
Anybody in the, I thought that was
Put
going to go
40
another
seconds
way,
on it.
but then
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
did
no.
There's a picture of me, him, and Libretto. Gutterworks, shout out. On the podium at a Money Moto at Dutch. It's me and Josh on our 450s. Josh won it. Me third on the old Suzuki. And Sexton on a fucking Super Mini. About beat Libretto, dude.
That was probably the year he won
Yamaha.
when he won Loretta's that year.
Yeah.
It's the one that's on that 2-3 episode where he's
Yeah.
got that Super Mini in there.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I
That bike was
saw that
fast.
bike blow past me.
That bike was fast.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to the other Honda rider here.
I'm getting a bike with a kickstand.
So Ken Jesus Christ. Ken
that's
Roxon, last year of his contract here.
Wins a couple races, retires.
So he wins a couple?
Yep. We always say he ain't gonna win shit, and he comes out and wins at least. 2
Whoa,
or
you're
3.
saying he's not winning. He's not winning any races. You don't think he's going to win it?
I'm out on that take.
I'm out on that too.
I think he wins at least a couple.
I'm not going to yell and scream like I did with the Dylan thing, but I think he wins a couple of the first 5.
Nope.
Yep.
If this is if he really, this is his last hurrah, this is his last season, he's not doing outdoors, he's done, I think he mails it in the whole season.
Nope. I'm going to say he wins 2 out of the first 5.
So how many winners do you have?
I got maybe 6 or 7 winners.
Because you still have one more team to go to.
2, 3, 4.
I think all 3 of the guys on that one team win.
I only got 5 or 6.
Okay. Yeah, I just
Like
don't
I'm
see
not
it.
way out there with like 8 or 9 winners.
I just
I only got 5 or 6.
I just
And
don't-
we have
Who
5
got
last
after
year.
HRC Honda. Just
KTM.
Oh, I guess
KTM,
I guess
that's
I'm
it,
I guess
huh?
I'm
KTM.
I guess I'll go with 6 because I forgot I don't have Barsha on this list. I have Barsha winning the opener.
I just don't see it. I just don't see him winning.
I
Man,
think he wins one, man.
I'm gonna say he's so good at the beginning of the season. Now, I will say this is where we're gonna get into shit we have seen on the internet. Are you all right over there?
I'm
Like you can't open your right eye to look at me,
sorry, it's fidgeting.
and I know you're actually not high right now.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I'm very concerned.
I got
here.
dry eyes right now.
Jesus Christ. Anyway,
dude, shut up.
I did see a video of him riding, and it wasn't at the Honda intro.
Oh, the one where he did that filthy ass knack at Castillo.
Maybe, and I was not impressed with it though.
Talking about the one that Jet tried to follow up with in the same section when he tried
I
to
don't
quad.
know. All I know is I was not
No,
impressed.
it was a Team Honda Big Dick measuring contest. Sexton posts this video like, yeah, quad, like I'm the fucking man. And then Jet Lawrence posts one doing it on a 250F. And then Roxon posts one hitting that quad doing a fat ass knack.
Oh, yeah.
Landing
Yes,
at the
that is the
angle and
video,
still
yes.
making the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I saw that video and I was really not impressed with the riding I saw out of him in that video. Like the knack was cool, but the rest of it I was like, oh man, I don't know. Like that's not like and the fact it's
But we
so
always think
weird
that, though. He
but
looks
it's
like he's
so-
going nowhere.
It's so weird. No, because usually you see Kenny and you're like, oh yeah, like Kenny looks all right. But like this year it's so weird too because we have not seen Insta bangers from people. And usually by this point, I mean we are filming this December 12th, 2021. We are less than 3 weeks away from the opener. And we have not seen Insta bangers from people. And like I know the KTM just did the intro, so like now we're gonna start seeing some KTM stuff. But usually by this point, we have seen
something.
Insta bangers.
I've seen
And
more
like we have
250F
not
guys.
seen Insta bangers from anybody. Joe Schmoda, I've seen the most riding out of anyone.
Oh, I like him.
I love Joe.
I watched him almost die in the whoops the other day. I was like, oh god,
I love Joe.
Looks good.
don't go into a sushi roll. Anyway, so you don't think Kenny wins any? How many do you think Kenny wins?
3.
Okay,
I don't even think Kenny's top 3. And I think it'll be struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow. See, I put him in the top 5. Top 3 is going to be tough because I think you've got Frenchie, Eli, Kenny, Webb.
AC.
There is one thing
Mookie,
that worries
I
me
guess.
with Kenny though, is like towards the end of the season and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He looks really defeated, like he defeats himself. Like once
really
the
depends
air
how
goes
it
out of the
goes.
sails, he's like, "Fuck it."
If he can get past the midway point and then he wins a race like shortly after midway,
But I'm saying, what
he's
if he
in
gets
it,
beat down in the beginning of the season?
And see, that's
Yeah,
my-
then,
that's
then
my
I think,
thing.
then I'm really with Justin of like, then he's not going to win any races past that point, and he retires at the end of Supercross.
So
I
we
think
got to
that's
get
why,
past
though.
round 5 without any
That's
win.
but see, that's why I think this, though. I think there's going to be a point. I don't know if it's the opener, second round, third round. We're going to get to the way before the halfway point, and there's going to be a time where Frenchie, Coop, and Eli are going to catch and pass him, and he is not going to be able. Like, it might even happen. All three of them might even do it to him in one main, and he is not mentally going to be able to handle it.
Okay.
And he's going to shut down. That's the
can't
reason
argue it.
why I believe what I believe.
yeah.
Because outside of, like, it's hard to bet against Kenny. We're all Kenny fans. Everybody who watches the show knows this. Anybody that knows us knows that. But, like, to Cole's point about him being defeated, I think there will be a race this year where he gets passed by all three of those dudes. They catch and pass him, and mentally he's just going to go into shutdown mode. And that's going to just screw the rest of his season.
I'm not going to argue it.
Because, like, would it surprise anybody if they did it all the same race?
No.
Like, let's be real.
Yeah, and then he'll just like randomly come out of fucking nowhere and win.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing, too. That could happen as well. I just feel like that if this is his last season, which a lot of people have been saying, like for sure his last season, because we don't think he's doing outdoors, why would he feel the need to like keep pushing for the rest of the year? If he
Yeah.
just doesn't have it, why? He's got money in the bank. He is already probably thinking about what he's doing next.
Yeah.
I just,
Put another kid out.
yeah, going hanging out in the lake, whatever the fuck he likes to do. I don't know. Those brown water fucking.
Honda's got like two of the hottest properties, and like they're not our title picks, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
In fact,
Well, actually probably.
you don't think any of them's going to get a win. We're like, oh, Kenny's going to get a couple wins. And yeah, it's fucking wild.
Yeah, but their hottest property right now in the 250 class is probably going to win a title. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
Anyway, all right. Next up, anything else with Honda?
no.
Okay, great. Moving on to our final
Bikes
factory
look
team.
good. That's it.
Huh?
Bikes look good.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll talk about this off the air.
Okay. Final factory team here. Factory Red Bull KTM. Let's start with Marv. 1 year deal,
So sad.
SX only.
I'm bummed.
You think Marv's going to pull a win?
No.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really good, though. I think he's going to be really, really good, though.
I think he's going to be good.
I know that Paris is Paris
He-
and whatever.
He's the one guy I've heard flying.
I know
at
that
the
Paris
test
is
track.
Paris, and the guys that he was racing in the competition is not the same, but damn, dude.
And he was on
Maybe
a race
this new bike will
bike.
get his ass through the fucking whoop.
And
He
you know
rode
what,
the
though?
old bike in Paris.
You know
That's
what,
the thing.
though? You know what that reminded me of? Watching him at Paris. Like I said, toned down track, no whoops, not the level.
He was still fucking gone.
But you know what that race reminded me of? Remember going into 2017 when he
Won
was
everything.
fucking winning every off-season race?
Yeah.
He won Monster
And then
Cup.
wins A1.
He won Bercy. He won whatever that other one, Paris de Lille.
Yeah.
That reminded me. That's what I thought when I watched him. Like, this is the first time I've seen this Marv since 2017.
there were a lot of heel clickers.
He looks so good. Do I think he wins? No, but I think we're gonna see the Marv that we are used to
He's
seeing.
And
Dude.
the thing about that Paris race too is, do you watch the Weed Show with the KTM intro?
No.
No,
So he was on the new bike riding it, and he's like,
the
"I'm
bike
going
did
to-"
look different. I wondered why.
He's going to Paris, and he didn't get to take the 21. They're like,
No, you got to ride the 22.
What?
or 22, whatever.
Yeah, he didn't. No, he rode the old bike.
Rode the
in
old. That's what I
Paris.
meant.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. I got a little confused. He was riding the newest model, and then he's like, "Hey guys, I'm going to Paris," and they're like, "You ain't riding the new bike over there." So he had to ride that bike for a day, get readjusted to it, and then fly over there and race the damn thing, and still did that well.
Well, yeah. Well, that's because they don't have bikes. Let's face it. Have you guys heard? Like, they don't even have engines to send back and forth. They're literally rebuilding the engines in Florida.
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough engines to be able to ship back and forth like they normally do between Florida and California. So all the engines in the bikes over there are literally coming out and getting rebuilt in Florida. Yeah, like that's how short they are on shit.
Telling
right
you,
now.
whatever they did to Cooper, even though it's a new bike, whatever they did with Cooper in his rear end to figure out him going through the whoops, if they can do that to Marv's bike,
Yeah.
holy
Oh,
shit.
they already said this bike goes through the
Can I
whoops.
can I ask you guys though? What
That
do
new
you
bike's bitching.
you like it? I'm not sure how I feel about the fucking shrouds going so far forward.
But did you see some of the cool little shit where they were thinking?
No, I haven't
So-
really looked at too hard into it.
There's up on the shroud, there's these little patterns and stuff in there built in
Okay.
plastic where it looks like it's aesthetic,
Yeah.
but it's to grip. So when your foot's up there, it's locking your boot into the shroud.
Gotcha.
Well,
Sick.
Might as well. Honda is doing that right now. Remember how you talk about Jet said that the bike is too nimble? Like he has nothing where to grip?
Yeah.
They're actually making on the left side of the chassis, and they're trying to do it on the right, but they have to figure out where the reservoir, where to mount it. They're actually mounting extra hangers for a lot of people like, oh, are they making another a data acquisition place? No. They're doing it because they're trying to figure out another stability for guys to grip onto.
Yeah.
They're trying to build like like extra metal. But they have, go look at, it's on Vital. They have a picture. I don't know if it's Kenny's bike or Chase's bike. They have 2 extra hangers on the left side of the bike that they're trying to make for extra mounts.
Oh,
And now they're actually, instead of going to titanium engine hangers and engine mounts, they're actually, to get more rigidity, they're going to aluminum.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They go around that KTM a little bit.
Yeah.
They talk to the engineers and stuff. They built that bike all around the rear shock in the rear end.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that stayed the same on it, I guess, is the front wheel and like the fucking handlebars.
I was gonna say I was starting to watch like the beginning of Swap Moto when they took the like factory or the KTM racing shop tour there. I was watching some of
That's
that.
interesting, too.
Yeah, and they were I heard a couple comments about like, oh yeah, the only thing that's the same is like this piece, and this piece. So
If they can get that rear end from Marv figured out like they did for Coupe last year,
yeah,
dude, I think he's going to be really... I don't know about the win. I don't know if I'll go that far yet. But God, he's going to be good.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the Marvin that we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
I really fully believe that.
Well, Andy's got another year under his belt.
And maybe I'm only
Off
saying
the
that
injury.
because I'm sad that this is his hurrah. This is his last hurrah. But it's not going to seem right if, and we talked about this on the offseason show, Travis, it's not going to seem right if Marv goes out on a shitty note.
no,
think Marv's gonna be
but I don't
sneaky
think he's
good.
going to. I think he's going to do well this year.
I really hope so.
I mean,
really do.
he built through all of last year. Now he's coming in with a full off season, wins Paris, new bike. They supposedly doing good. And like I said, he's the only one I've heard this year that's flying at
I
the
honestly
test track so far.
wasn't a big Marvin fan when he first moved over here, but since in the last 3 or 4 years, I've just become a Marvin Muscan fan. I can't explain why. It's fun to watch. That's an obvious reason. I can't explain why, but I've just become a
I think
Muscan
you got a
fan.
thing for French nuts.
Could be it.
Hanging from your chin.
I mean, I like Frenchie, I like Marv, I like Tom Biel.
All right.
It's fun.
You like Tom Jornet?
Whatever.
Let's move on to the next guy on this team. New guy on the team, Aaron Plessinger.
Wins races.
You think so?
Holy shit!
Ooh, I wasn't
wow,
going that
bold
far.
take, Cotton, bold take.
I
I
was
think
gonna-
he gets one.
I was going to put him on the box
you
a
got
couple
like
times.
you got
but
like
I wasn't-
95 guys winning pains, bro.
I think he gets 1 or 2.
Nah, I'm out on that. I'm out on
I
the
think
wins.
Aaron Plessinger gets 1 or 2 wins.
I'm out on the wins.
God, dude, you're like 8 guys right now winning races.
I'll put him on the box.
Who's gonna win the title with 3 wins?
I'll put him on the box, but I'm out on
I'm not even gonna go that far.
Really?
No, because I'm still afraid that, I know that he said, "Oh, they're gonna let AP be AP." I'm not so.
I mean,
sold
Red
on
Bull branded a cowboy hat for him. Like
that.
they
but,
did some shit.
Okay, so I'll play the other side of that.
There
That's
hang on before you keep going. I don't know if this will sway your opinion at all, but they interviewed him as well at the show, or the unveiling or whatever, and he was like, one of the biggest stipulations before I signed the contract was if they were going to allow me to be me, and they promised me the world that I could still be who I am.
okay, and that's
So I signed the contract.
and that's great. But once again, we do know that that's all fine and dandy before the season starts.
Is Alden letting him be him? Because that's a big concern of mine too.
I think him and Malcolm Stewart together is the saving grace.
But once again, though, that's all fine and dandy when this is the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
What's going to happen if AP starts having bad races?
Yeah.
Are they still going to be like, nope, dude, you can do it your way? That's the only thing that scares me, man. Mm-hmm. If you're going to tell me he's going to be AP, they're going to let him no matter what, I think he's just as good as he was on that Yamaha. I don't think he's better because I think that we've reached a peak of where AP's ceiling is.
I think he takes a little bit of a step better, and I think races like where he's way out front and gets chased down, he powers to the end.
I hope you're right, man, because I really like Aaron. I think what we saw last year on the Yamaha, I think that's kind of his ceiling, which is obviously really good. I mean, he was top 3
In
in points.
Unadilla,
outwards.
I think his ceiling was Unadilla before he looped out. He was catching Kenny and was going
Oh,
to
for
pass
sure.
him in
Yeah.
that
Oh,
race.
I don't. That's what I mean, though. But
So that tells me he's on par with those guys.
I hope you're right, man. I really do, because that'd be really cool to see him up there. You know, what was the race? Atlanta 2, the mud race, where he was out front and then he crashed in the whoops.
Tuck the front wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was winning that race. He probably would have
There were
won
a
that
couple
race.
of them that he would have won. That's my reason.
Yeah, dude, I really hope you're right. I really do. I feel like he's going to be pretty much just as good as he was on the Yamaha, which is fine because he was really good last year.
Yeah. I'm out on the winning. I'm in on the box a couple times.
So yeah, and that's
it.
where he kind of was last. I mean,
Yeah.
did he get a podium last year?
Yeah, he
Okay.
he got a third at Daytona.
And he was pretty much 5 to 7 most of the
Yeah,
season.
He was,
So
something
that's
like
good.
that.
I mean, that's good for AP. So
Yep. All right. Last man on this team. Defending title.
big dick swinger.
Big dick swinger. 8 wins last year.
Bro, you've said that so
He
many
had
times.
8.
He had 8.
Holy shit!
I told you I got orange nuts on my chin.
God damn, dude. That's insane.
Cooper Webb.
8 fucking wins.
I'm just going to go ahead and say
He
he
Peter slept.
repeats. I don't know how many wins he gets. He wins multiple races.
I don't think he wins 8.
I don't think he wins 8 either, because I think we're going to spread these out a little
There
bit.
are a couple things to think about here, though.
Okay, let's hear.
Let's not argue with the Alden Baker program. It produces.
He's gonna tell Eldon to suck his.
I don't know if that matters.
So here's here's where
I
I'm
mean, I
going with
agree with you that yes, Alden's program
Burner's
does
gonna be
produce
sticking to
winners.
this. Who has won a title in the last 15 years not on Eldon's program?
Eli
Eli's the
Tomac.
only one.
Yep. Yes, he's correct.
15 years? Well, Dungy won a title when he
Are
was
we
not.
are we talking strictly SX?
Yeah.
Dungy won a title when he was not his program.
Yeah, Dungy did too.
2010, rookie year.
2010.
He won Supercross. and
Outside of
Moto.
that, yes, you're correct.
Okay.
You are correct. Yes.
Okay. Well, since 2010,
Last
who's
10
won?
years, we'll go Dungy.
I mean,
and
if you even
Eli.
want to go back all the way to Carmichael, because
I know, but 2011 on, there's been a stretch.
no, yeah, you're right. I'm just saying if you're talking about in the last 15 years,
outside
Dungy
of that,
and
yes,
Eli are the only two guys.
RV, Dunge,
Stu before
Dunge.
that.
Yeah.
And every guy that's left him, and everybody thinks that's going to win after leaving him, hasn't done shit.
There's some interesting shit going on though, because everybody fucking left. RJ's the only one that didn't leave. Everybody else fucking left. That's why I also am saying that the bakery is gonna go away after next year.
What do you think
And
they're going to
Ricky-
get hit for money laundering?
No,
And Ricky's
that is
and-
not
and-
what I think it is. I think they're getting out while the getting's good before
Ricky's
everything
about to,
comes to light about the
And Ricky's about to start talking.
extracurricular juice that's going on down there.
Yeah, Carmichael's also about to start talking
But-
with some of the shit going on.
Let's not get off.
Really? So the lid's about to get blown off
Yeah.
about all
Because
of
guys are trying to get ahead of it before
Yeah.
all the
Eldon can tell.
doping, huh?
Yeah, before Eldon can tell his story.
Yep.
That's why I think he goes back home.
Yeah.
I think he dips and leaves, goes back home.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's interesting as hell.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I actually
But
thought,
you do
I
have-
actually thought when everyone was leaving this year, I actually thought it was going to be this year, but I think it'll be next year.
But you do
So
have a
they're
really
draining
valid
the
point.
swamp.
kind
Pretty
of,
much.
yeah.
But you do have a really valid point, Cole. Like you're not wrong. Like everything you're saying is factual evidence.
Yes.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So here's the other half of that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Webb is the type of guy, and we thought Kenny was going to do this, and Kenny kind of did with his outdoor title.
Mm-hmm.
But Coop is the guy that's going to go, "Fuck you. Watch,
Mm-hmm.
watch this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold my beer and watch this."
Now
Literally.
there is one thing I'm concerned of with this, and that is how is KTM going to work with this? Because from what I understand, KTM was fucking pissed he left Alden's, like pissed.
Yeah, and Coop's going to go out there and say, "Watch this."
I hope so.
Maybe before it goes back.
He
to Alabama.
thrives.
I
off
hope
that.
so. But is this the last year of his deal?
I think it is.
He thrives off that
they
and goes
start-
back to Star Yamaha.
Do they start? Let's get into conspiracy theory shit here. Do they start pulling his parts before the end of the year?
Not
here?
if he's winning.
Not with a brand new bike. They want to sell those.
How crazy would it be though? Not that I'm saying it's going to happen, but if he goes out and Marv starts beating him consistently.
It's not going to happen.
No, I'm not saying
I
it's
don't-
going to.
I don't know,
I'm not
man.
saying it's going to. But it's just going to add extra, if you want to talk about conspiracies,
Yeah.
extra fuel to the fire that, like, if Marv goes out and starts beating him, which we don't believe that's going to happen, but if Marv, this is the normal Marv we're used to seeing, it's not like he can't do it.
I think it gives Coop the chip back on his shoulder.
I hope so, man. But dude, I am nervous about it, but I still think he's gonna win.
My biggest question mark with Coop is, and it's not so much it's not the capabilities of Michael Byrne, is how are those two going to gel when Coop has a bad race? Because he's going to have a bad race. Not
Yeah.
bad for him. It's not terrible, but everybody just has a bad race. Coop is used to a structure that Eldon had for him, and I'm not trying to bump Eldon up because people know I'm not a big Eldon guy. But how is the connection between him and Byrne going to be? What is Burner going to be able to say to him or get him on track when the race it goes bad or Coop just gets straight up beat? What's that? How's that dynamic going to be? Burner is obviously a very talented guy himself. He's won outdoor races. He's not battled for championships, but he was not no slouch in his career. Really, really good Australian, but he was never at that level. What is he going to be able to say to Coop that Coop's going to be like, "You're right"?
I don't know, man.
Because with
gonna be
Dylan, he has DV. Eli
Yeah.
has his dad. Not to say Burner's not talented, but you're talking about guys that he's
That's
racing
going to hold him accountable. And
that have, like I said, DV's DV. John Tomac. Burner is not at that level. No disrespect to Byrne. I like Michael Byrne a lot. But what is he going to be able to say to Coop that Coop's going to go, "You know what, man? You are totally right." Or am I crazy for thinking, like, is that
You're not crazy. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting, yeah, because You think of Alden, he don't give a fuck what you think. You're
Exactly.
listening to him.
Exactly.
You're saying it can be Bjorn? Can
Bjorn.
Michael Bjorn
Michael Ben.
be pushed over?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many wins do you think he gets this year?
You said 8 last year?
Yeah.
5.
I'll say 5. Yeah, 4 or 5.
I'll go with 6.
Okay. Just,
To
dude,
9.
I think this year is so much harder than in past years because of all the unknown things with so many guys moving over.
I'm gonna say there's a
New
lot
bikes,
of moving parts this
new
year.
bikes.
New bikes.
This is the most moving
new
parts we've
trainers,
had in a long time, as
And
far
next year's
as-
gonna be crazy too. Like
'Cause then all
Coach
the 250
said,
guys are all
you
coming
got
up.
250 dudes coming up.
Well,
People
I
retiring.
think-
Jet Lawrence going to the factory 450 team.
Yeah.
He's going up that early. you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah. I think but isn't it a stipulation? Isn't it though if he win I thought he had to win a title though. Because if he didn't win the title, they're not putting him
No.
up there. That's
No.
see
He's
that
going
part I'm
that
not,
early, huh?
That part I'm
he's
not
going.
agreeing
He
with.
will be on the 450 team next year, Supercross guaranteed.
See that
Why
part.
are they
I
Whether
letting
he
him
wins
go
the
that
title or
early?
not.
I thought the stipulation.
Why so early?
Because Kenny's going to
moving.
retire.
I thought
I
the
don't give
He
a
is
shit. Sign
Kenny's
a guy for 1
replacement.
year.
He is a Kenny's replacement. And
Well,
the real interesting thing there with that is how is Chase going to react to that? Because Chase thinks that he's going to be big dick energy and be the guy, and he's never going to be the guy.
Unless he just beats him, that's the only way.
The only
that's
way,
literally the only way.
the only way he's going to be the
Sign
guy
Colt
is if he
Nichols
starts.
for a year and then move Jet up.
See, I thought the stipulation was he had to win a title. I agreed with that. I didn't know that they were moving up no matter what. I
Yeah,
don't
he's
agree
going.
with
He's
that. I
going
don't
no matter
agree with
what.
that.
There's
That's
no way he's not going.
I don't think he.
I think that's a bad
early.
idea.
I'm interested
early.
if they move him this year for summer if Kenny retires.
No,
No.
he's defending that title.
Who else are they going to put in there?
Dude, it's a big deal
Nobody.
for Honda to defend that title.
Yeah, but who else
outdoors.
are they going to put in there?
It's just be Chase. It'll just be Chase.
They'll run one dude. All
It's not-
summer.
it's
No,
not
they're
like they haven't
pretty.
done-
They're pretty good at hiring fill-in guys for the summer.
I don't know. We'll
Question
see.
is, who would they be though? Because like both of their Honda dudes are already.
Yeah.
They'll
Anyway,
find
back to Red Bull KTM
Alex,
here
right?
that we're on.
Jesus.
So you don't think he repeats the title?
I do.
No, if we're giving, are we giving our title picks right now?
Who already
what
knows who yours is?
So it's
huh?
Frenchie. So yeah, no, I don't.
Do you
so.
think he repeats?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else with
Here,
Red Bull
let's
KTM?
get to the meat and potatoes.
I
Let's
would
wrap
say
it up.
anything else with Red Bull KTM before we wrap up here.
No.
Okay, great. So title picks here.
Dylan.
Your Frenchie.
Yep.
Your Webb.
Cooper Webb is my title pick.
I'm Webb.
What
2
is-
to 1, we win.
No. I still
Just
picked-
that simple.
I still picked the last champion in the 450 class, so I win. Who? Actually, I picked both of them. Who? Okay, so you guys both think that
I picked Webb for Supercross last year.
Oh, you did. I thought you picked Kenny. Who picked? Did you pick Kenny?
I had Kenny, I
Okay,
think.
so all
I
right, so
picked
you-
Like I
Kenny
said,
for
I hadn't
outdoors.
listened to the
All
show
right.
from last year to
Yeah.
prep for this
All right,
like I
so
should have.
None of us did. All right, so you guys think he wins. Okay, fine, cool. It's not like I can completely dispute that. I just think Frenchie's going to win it. What is the chances though? Like, what are you giving him? Are you just like straight up, no possible way anybody else wins the title?
I got a
Like, does this go down to the last race?
I got a 85. No, okay. Here, I'll go this. I got a 75% chance Coop wins. I got a 15% chance that Eli wins it, and I got a 10% chance that Dylan wins.
What about you?
Well, we got to split it up in the pie.
No, you
pieces.
don't have to. But
don't
like,
have
if
to.
you want to just give a percentage, what is Coop's percentage in your opinion of winning it?
79.3, Bob.
Jesus Christ.
See,
fucking real.
for me, like, even though I believe Frenchie's going to win, I think it's a 60-40. I think Coop's chances are 40%. I think it's going to be a battle between Dylan, Coop, and Eli, but it's not like I fully believe Dylan's going to 100% win.
How
Like,
did this Blue Nuts
God, a
taste?
Dylan Coop battle will be so
It's going to be awesome.
good.
Like I said,
so
if
good.
those two battle for the title, the winner in all of that is us as fans.
like you said, my biggest thing is
but
I just believe
I don't think so.
the reason why I just believe Dylan's going to win is because Coop's not going to push him around.
I just think you're fucking high still.
I
agree with you that he's not going to be able to push him around.
Dude, you can say that all you want, but,
but
like, I was
don't
right about
see-
Dylan.
I don't see Dylan doing that in
You called one
Supercross.
thing, dude.
Yeah, you get one thing. Here we go. He gets one thing right. But does he give me credit about Zacho winning a 450 title?
One
Fuck
thing
no.
right. I'm pretty sure.
Oh boy, here we
One
go.
thing.
Hold
Okay,
on.
fine.
Here
All
we
right,
go.
cool. One thing. That's
Here
fine.
we go. We're
Just
gonna
give me
go
one
down
thing.
his memory bank, and I'm gonna have to go back and
No, you
listen
did
to
pick
old
Supercross
shows.
last year with me.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, what were the other questions you had?
So, who are your guys'? It's the same thing I asked for Coach. Who do you think is going to exceed expectation, and who do you think will not live up to expectation? That's it. Same thing as Coach.
Exceed expectations?
Yeah, who do you think is going to do better? Like, people are there's a lot of different people.
Can I split it 50-50 between two guys?
Sure, fine. Go ahead. Because you said you already have it in your mind.
The Baker boys. AP and Mookie exceed expectations.
Okay.
Chase Sexton is very underwhelming.
All right, you got
I
one?
think AC is going to exceed expectations. I think our arms are fixed, so I think we're going to exceed expectations. Like I said, a win, be in the battle all year.
Okay.
Top 5 in points at the end of the year. A solid season for us.
Okay.
I agree with
fucking
you.
house shit.
I agree with you that I think Sexton is going to be underwhelming.
See, I think that Mookie is going to not live up to expectation, and I think that Joey exceeds expectation.
That's an
What'd you say?
interesting call.
Cooper?
What is
No.
Mookie? What is Mookie,
Mookie
not
won't-
living up to expectations?
Because I'm
Define
still
it.
scared that he is going to hit the ground more
Okay.
often than
All
not.
right,
again.
that's a fair point.
I
Valid
don't dispute any of the. I agree
What
with
is
you.
exceeding
Also-
expectations with Joey?
Hang on a second. I want to make a point about Sexton before I forget about it.
Yeah.
I wish I really would have brought this up earlier. But there's got to be something going on. I don't know if it's the attitude thing, but he's been through 3-4 mechanics already.
Yeah. Oh,
What's
it's got to
up
be
with
the
that?
attitude thing. 100%. It's got to be the attitude thing.
I guess I didn't think about that.
Without a fucking doubt, it's got to be the attitude thing.
Like Jay Dungy's probably a really
Actually-
solid, understanding guy, and he walked.
Did I hear somewhere? No, that's Forkner's dad. Never mind.
That's a situation.
Yeah, that's,
geez,
that's
we're
a
not
real
getting
big
into that.
situation. Never mind. I don't know what's Sexton.
So what do I think exceeding expectation for Joey is? I think that kind of a lot of people are under the same thought of what Coach is going to be. That he's just going to be very up and down. Like, yeah, even when everybody's healthy, he doesn't have a shot. He'll be like a 10 to 12 guy. I think for him, he's going to get a few top 5s even when everybody's healthy. And I just think even though he's going to have those moments where you're like, what the hell are you doing? Because that's just who he is right now. I think that he is going to be more consistently in where he was in the Cowie.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think he's going to lead races? No. Do I think he's going to be fastest qualifier 4 or 5 times? No. But I think a lot of people right now are kind of underestimating him, and I still keep harping on the fact that being with the same team 2 years in a row has got to be a big mental step for him.
I would agree
And
with
that's
that.
what I mean. Like I said, I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to get on the box. I think he gets 2 top 5s, and I think he's more where he was in the Cowie, which was 5 to 8 pretty much all the time. Like,
All right.
other than the one race that his bike blew up, I don't think he was ever outside the top 10, and he was winning that race that happened.
Yeah.
So I just will say I think he's more like he was on the Cowie, just without leading the races.
Yeah.
So that's exceeding expectation for me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that. Like, yeah,
It's not like I'm saying he's going to win or he's going to podium. I'm not saying that. It's
great.
just,
I don't have to call you stupid again.
KAC lover. Hadn't done jack shit on the 450.
Look, your blue nuts are dangling
Just
right
like your
in your
green-
mouth.
just like your
as
green
bad
nuts.
as
Yeah, your
my
green nuts are all garlic.
Maybe even worse. Maybe even worse.
No.
Yes.
Hell no.
Clip that.
So,
You got a fucking 9 tattooed on your chest that we don't know about?
no.
9.
Anything-
AC on your ass.
Anything else 450 wise here?
Who wins A1?
I'm going with Barsha. It's hard to bet against it. We're going 4 years in a row he's won. It's hard to bet against it.
David Pulley.
Jesus
Fuck
Christ.
off.
Another one.
What? Another one? What?
That's it. It's just what you're going with.
Oh, no.
Not
David
not
Pulley.
giving a serious one.
You
just
want
go-
a serious one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Barsha just comes out swinging, man, and I think,
He lives for the A1.
yeah, I guess Barsha's the only guy that really comes out swinging. All these other guys are question marks.
Who you got?
It's which one-
Eli Tomac.
Really?
No, not with his fucking arm pumping ass.
Dude, I mean, that would be a shocker for me. But again,
It just, see.
that
but
would
me-
work. That would work right into my if he figures out the first 5 rounds.
Me,
if he wins A1.
But see, me saying Eli Tomac and being serious about is going to win the first race proves the fact that I am not trying to hate on Eli. I'm trying to be unbiased.
I'll give that to you, man.
I think I have 100. I actually think I will give him 99.9% chance of winning the first round.
That's impressive.
I would love to see Barsha do it again because how cool would that be? 4 years in a row right now?
Yeah.
Right? 4 years in a row, that'd be super cool. To actually win A1 because, he faked it last year.
But
But
the other guy that comes out swinging first round all the time is Kenny.
Yeah, that's
Kenny
true.
has a lot of A1 wins to his credit.
Yeah.
And even
does.
when he had half an arm, he came out and got third.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Eli, I don't know. Something tells me that this is going to be scary for these guys.
Interesting. Super interesting. All right, cool. Well, this has been.
I can't wait.
I can't
so
wait
ready,
either.
dude. I've hated this offseason.
About a few weeks here, man. So this has been our 2022 450 Supercross preview show. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Episode 184. Thank you to Complete Racing Solutions, Premier Custom Trailers, TLR Coatings. Oh, boy, my list is upside down.
JT Cycle, the
JT
Dirt Bike
Isaac Nelson
Depot.
Designs, Clutch Media.
Alias Sport, Dirt Bike Depot, Adept Creative Co, Gutter Works, Isaac Nelson Design, Clutch Media. Again, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below.
Smooch that like button.
Look out for our fantasy show coming the Friday before A1. All three of us will be on it, correct?
Hey,
We got some good giveaways for this
guess
year.
who brought home $1,500 in fantasy
Wow,
last year?
nice job.
Industry idiots.
I know.
Guess who has a national number?
Wow, really?
You're looking at number 56.
That's impressive.
think.
Wow, you're one off from being Kev's number.
I think I'm 56. I have to look. I have a national number in Palt Fantasy this year.
That's
you're
cool.
So suck on these orange nuts.
That's
so cool,
So
bro.
anyway,
You are so
thanks
cool.
everyone for tuning in. We are going to do 22 bigger, better than we did last year.
Bigger, better, harder, and
I was going to
faster.
say we brought a lot of people in last
I'm all
year.
in.
We have new people to bring in this year that we're going to do
Hopefully
for
upping the
call-ins and
socials.
stuff. We are going to be more structured. We are going to talk more. We tried to do the best job we could with this one of staying on track and not just deviating like we do.
It's the end of the last. It's the last show.
I
of the season.
do apologize for the
Fuck
mix-up at the beginning. Luckily,
If
I'm
people
about
are
to
even
film.
listening at this
I'm about
point.
to refilm an intro. Some people are. Somebody has to be. So I do apologize for the fuck up at the beginning. We've been off for a few weeks. I don't remember what I'm doing. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Nico Izzy helmet.
Nico Izzy helmet there, so that's pretty sweet. Thanks,
Hey,
Cole.
I had a guy that was like, "Yeah, Nico's in the. I'm taking it home though. Well, you think I'm leaving that here all year?
No, I said thanks for bringing it in tonight.
Oh,
What the fuck? He just got
I
all
didn't think you were
butthurt.
gonna leave this here. Jesus,
oh, I,
want the
I thought he was
helmet?
like, thanks for that. Like I'm leaving it here.
No. Anyway,
No, funny story with that though.
Yeah.
I put it on like a memorabilia page on like Facebook.
yeah.
Guy hits me up. It's like, hey man, I'd like to get that back for Nico. Like when he gets out of jail for a getting out of
bail
jail
out,
present.
Bail his bitch ass out of
Getting
jail.
out of jail present. And I'm like, I don't know about all that. And then he sends me like these messages of like talking back and forth from like the jail
Jesus
text with
Christ.
Nico.
Unreal.
And I'm like, no, dude.
Did you tell him 10
like-
grand he could have it?
Nico.
No, some dude offered me
sucks,
$700
douche.
for it.
Tell him 10 grand he could have it.
I should have told him that.
He should have. I mean, always put a stupid number on things. If people want to pay stupid prices for stupid things, that's fine.
That's a fucking cool helmet though.
It is cool.
Nico,
So,
kiss my ass.
all right. Anyway,
It's too bad Nico's up.
thanks for everybody
Loser.
for tuning in. We will see everyone after A1.
Yeah.